A grand jury indicted mom and her boyfriend charges for murder and more. Sierra Day and Deonte Lewis indicted on 8 charges: murder, child endangering, tampering with evidence. Investigators in Euclid have said 4-year-old Aniya died after being beaten. She'd been starved and had burn marks too. Both Sierra Day and Deonte Lewis locked up, and prosecutors could look at seeking the death penalty.
This video contains the interview of a man suspected of helping his girlfriend to starve her daughter to death. Deonte Lewis thought that he had his life sorted out. He was doing work he enjoyed, had a strong family bond with his grandparents and siblings, and had enough time and money to spend on recreation. He had never been interested in romance, preferring to focus on the other aspects of his life. That all changed in 2017 when he reconnected with Sierra Day, a casual friend from high school. From the beginning, things between the two of them clicked. Lewis sympathized with Day's story of a toxic ex and admired the way she was raising her young daughter, Aniya. The two soon moved in together, and Lewis began acting as a parent to Aniya. On the surface, they appeared to be a happy family. Aniya would tell a different story. Long before Lewis came into the picture, there were concerning signs that Aniya was being mistreated. The daycare she attended reported Day to Child Services multiple times before Day removed her. When Aniya's father noticed bruises and other marks on her body, he questioned Day how they got there. Immediately, Day cut his visitation and spread the claim that he had harmed her during their relationship and that he was dangerous. Even Day's sister noticed odd behavior that intensified after Day met Lewis. Day would take Aniya into another room and close the door to punish her. The sister witnessed at least one time when Aniya came from the room with a bloody nose afterward. When she questioned Day, Day limited contact with the family. On March 11, 2018, a 911 call was placed by Day saying her daughter was unconscious. The doctors who attended Aniya were horrified by her condition. The 4-year-old was emaciated, and her legs were covered in burn marks. One of her eyes had been blackened. Aniya died shortly after her arrival at the hospital. It was determined that she had suffered a stroke brought on by starvation and being beaten.
And you understand that we're investigating a child endangering case right now, okay? Yes. When was it that you first started seeing Sierra?
When I first started seeing each other?
Yeah.
Maybe like last June, July, right before her birthday.
Right before whose birthday?
Sierra's birthday.
Okay.
So 2017, last year?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so you started dating. And how did you guys meet?
Actually, I went to go pick her up one time. Stranded, needed a ride. Her brother called me, and I was working at the time at PCC Airfuels. I was off. I ended up just going to go pick him up and everything, and we just like kind of like reconnected. Not that specific day, but that was how we got back in touch with each other.
So you had dated her in the past, or just knew her in the past?
Just knew her in the past. We both was in a marching band.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
In the Shanghai Marching Band?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what year did you guys go to, what was your graduating year from Shaw?
Mine was 10.
And hers is?
Hers was 13.
So she's a little younger. Okay. So you're 2010 and she's 2013, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So then you just, all that time since high school, and you just reconnected, so.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy how we reconnected. Like I said, they needed a ride, and it was just late at night. Her brother, who I know from a while, called me. And I just said, okay, yeah, I'm gonna come pick you guys up, and just picked him up. Just started kicking him after that.
Okay, all right. So who's her brother that you know?
Isaiah Day. People ask me how to spell Isaiah. I don't know how to spell it.
That's okay. I might not have spelled it right. I just don't want to forget. I have a tendency to forget things if I don't jot them down. So that's all I'm doing is just writing down what you're telling me. And how long after you started dating her, in about June of last year, did you start having involvement where Aniya, is that how you pronounce
Yes,
the
ma'am.
child's name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, where Aniya would be with you guys when you were together.
Every day.
So right from the beginning?
Well, as far as my involvement, I was always around and everything and all that. But I've been around with Sierra and Aniya since we started talking last year.
Most single parents do not allow their children to meet someone they have just started a new relationship with. Usually this is done to spare the child emotional distress if the relationship does not work out, or to give the parent time to gauge whether or not this person poses a danger to their child. They might not have bothered since she already knew Lewis, or she may not have cared how her daughter could be affected. I recently released another highly intense video on my Patreon, an explosive altercation between two cops, where tension escalated so quickly, resulting in a drawn gun and a devastating gunshot. In a mere 26 seconds, witness the events unfold as two officers engage in a fight that turns deadly. Watch this video and more at patreon.com/strangerstoriesplus.
Okay, so would you say if you started dating Sierra in June, would you say that you were introduced to Aniya right away in June?
Yes.
Okay, so
We
there
started dating in July. We met back up in June. Her
Okay.
birthday's in July. We started dating right a little bit after her birthday.
in July.
Yes.
But had you been around as less than a boyfriend before that? In that time from when you picked her up in June to when you started dating in July?
Yeah, I was
So-
her boyfriend, but yes, I was around.
Okay, so Aniya knew you from
Mhm.
before July of last year. Okay. What kind of things would you do with Aniya when you would hang out with Sierra?
Nothing. She played with the other kids. If I'm back when I was driving last year,
Uh-huh.
let her see my phone. That would be about it. Let her get on YouTube, I believe. Yeah, YouTube. Let her just do what kids do. Have fun with the phone.
Mhm.
That would be it.
Okay. And has there been a time since June of 2017 when you guys reconnected where you were broken up or separated? No? Okay. She just moved into Cultural Gardens, so where were you staying with her before that?
Harbor Crest Apartments.
At Harbor Crest? What was the apartment number?
119, I believe.
Which building?
A. Wait. So technically that be building A, no. West building. I think that's how they pronounce it there.
The West Building in Harbor Crest?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so you're staying there with her. So before moving to Cultural Gardens, which is the name of the complex you guys live in now,
Yes, ma'am.
you were staying with them at Harbor Crest.
Yes.
And have they lived anywhere else since June of 2017 besides Harbor Crest and
No.
Cultural Gardens? Okay, so you've been out with them the entire time since June of 2017 that they lived in both apartments we just talked about, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. When you guys lived at Harbor Crest, was Aniya going to the daycare there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did you guys like that daycare?
Well, not the daycare at Harbor Crest. There's a daycare across the street that
Oh.
she used to work at, and that was Get Ready, Set, Grow.
Ready, Set, Grow?
Yes.
The daycare workers were some of the first people to notice that there was a problem with Aniya and filed multiple Child Protective Service reports.
Where was that?
That was like, where was it at, ma'am?
Yeah, where's that daycare?
It was, I don't know that specific address, but it was like right across the street.
From?
The Harbor Crest Apartments.
Oh, okay. What kind of building is it in?
It was in the church. So they renting out the back, they renting out the downstairs of the church. I
Okay.
believe.
Got it. Now, was Ready, Set, Grow before or after the daycare that's in the Harbor Crest apartment complex?
She did that before, I believe. So I think she went there with her, then she transferred over to Harbor Crest, and then she transferred her back to Get Ready, Set, Grow.
Okay. So were you in the picture when Aniya was going to the daycare at Harbor Crest? No. No, not at all?
No, not at all.
Okay. And how did you know that she had been?
She told me.
Did she say why she stopped her going to the Harbor Crest Daycare and started taking her to Ready Set Grow?
She felt like she'd be in better hands being with her.
Oh, so Sierra worked at Ready Set Grow while Aniya was going there? Is that, am I understanding that right? Okay. Does she have a background in early childhood education?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Do you know where she got that from?
So if I'm not mistaken, I think they get their certifications from Shaw.
I know some high schools do offer that program. Okay.
Yeah, they offer it at Shaw High School, and I believe that's where she got her certifications from. Unless she did something else I don't know about, but yes.
So she was providing the daycare for her at Water's Edge, and then she decided to go across the street.
Well, like I said, I wasn't around when she went to the Harbor Crest Daycare.
Okay.
But to get ready to grow, yes, she was working there as well as when she was.
But Sierra did not work at Harbor Crest Daycare, did she?
No.
Okay. When did she get the job at Ready Set Grow?
I couldn't tell you that because that was before I got there. I think she was there for some. If I'm not mistaken, it was more than 2 years she's been there. So I can give you the exact amount of years, but she was there before I met with her again. Anyway.
Gotcha. Before June of 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. What is the discipline like when Aniya misbehaves?
Really nothing at all. Honestly, she'll see her have a go in the corner, stand in the corner or something like that. Other than that, it really be nothing. Be like just stop doing certain little things. We might not give you no candy at the moment because you're being bad. But other than that, that's just pretty much as far as it goes.
During the time that Sierra and Aniya are home, how much of it are they spending in the home together without you? Like, how often do you have to leave the home? Are you trying to get work? What do you?
Well, I do try to. I was working since we started dating. I just recently had lost my other job.
When did you lose that job?
January.
Oh, so just 2 months ago?
Yes.
Okay. Were you out of the house frequently when you were working?
Every day.
What about since then?
No. Usually now if I was to leave the house, I'm going to help my parents out or something like that, or if my brother called me, I might go with my brother. Other than that, I'm in the house with them all the time.
Okay, so you've been in the house with them all the time since you lost your job in January 28th?
And even before then, when I get off work, I go straight home.
Okay, all right. No, you said, when I asked you about the discipline, I noticed that you said Sierra will have her stand in the corner. Who handled the discipline in the house?
Sierra?
This is true. Family members testified that they never witnessed Lewis disciplining Aniya, and that Day often took her daughter to do so in another room.
Sierra mostly handled the discipline? Okay. Why is that?
Being a mom, like I said, if anything, I tell her, go stand in the corner. Other than that, that's it. I would tell her to go stand in the corner too, but then I confirmed everything with Sierra first.
Okay. How do you get along with Aniya's father?
I don't know at all.
Have you ever met him?
No.
Do you know his first name?
Michael.
Okay.
I never met him.
Where did they usually exchange custody for visitation?
Yeah, to be honest, we always had her. A couple of times, if I'm not mistaken, he did try to come get her. He would try to bring her back the very next day. He would come get her from the daycare or something like that. But I would be at work. I used to work for PCC, so I'd be at work from 7 in the morning to 3 o'clock to 3:30 in the afternoon. He only came and got her maybe twice since we've been together.
Okay.
And at times he came and got her, I wasn't around at all.
What was the relationship like between Sierra and Michael, the father?
I couldn't answer that because I wouldn't know. I just know it didn't work out.
And did she ever make comments about how she felt about him? Like, were you aware of how Sierra felt about Michael? Like, for instance,
I try not to think about it.
If I have an ex-husband who's not doing a great job as a dad or whatever, I might say, oh, here's this deadbeat or here's this a-hole. Like, what kind of things would Sierra say that let you know how she felt about Michael?
No, she just didn't want to be with him. She didn't like how he was. He was abusive. He wasn't.
Day began making false claims against her ex-husband when he tried to gain custody of Aniya and brought up several things he noticed that made him suspect his daughter was being mistreated. Before we move forward, I want to extend my thanks for watching. This video today has no sponsor, so if you're enjoying it, subscribing helps the channel grow. You can also check out my second channel, Stranger Crimes, after this video.
He was trying to be too controlling.
Okay.
Other than that, really nothing else. She just didn't want to be with him no more.
Okay. And did she tell you when they split?
No.
How long before you were in the picture do you think it was?
Maybe a year and a half. Maybe a year and a half. Could have been 2 years.
Okay, so a year and a half to 2 before you were in the picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did Aniya ever express wanting to be with her father?
Mm-mm. No, man.
No? Does she know him?
Yeah, only being 4 years old, but
Yeah.
I would say she know him.
What did she call him?
I was never around them together at all.
Okay. I mean, like, when she would say, like, I want to see my dad, or is my dad coming to pick me up?
No, she never said that ever.
What did she call her dad when she did see him?
I'm sorry, I wasn't around when when he came around, I wasn't around. I'm pretty sure she probably called him dad,
Okay.
but I've never heard her say that. Like, I've never heard her. It sounds kind of weird, I know it does, but I never heard her say dad or anything like that.
Lewis would not have seen much of Michael Garrett since Day was denying his right to visitation.
I'm pretty sure she has called him dad, but I never heard it out of her mouth.
Okay. All right. So, was there ever a time where Sierra was disciplining Aniya where you were concerned about the seriousness of the discipline?
No.
Never?
No, she wouldn't put her hands. She don't, she worked with kids and everything, so no, she wouldn't put her hands on her.
Okay. Do you know why I'm asking you these questions?
Because what's going on right now today?
Yeah. I'm just concerned about the level of discipline she might have been receiving based on some injuries I've seen on Aniya. Do you know which injuries I'm talking about?
I know she has the eye, but that's from her wanting to be fall. She wasn't feeling too well.
Mm-hmm.
We sat on the toilet because she's having stomach problems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to make some soup. I believe she was trying to get some ginger ale and everything.
Mm-hmm.
All we know is we hear a boom. We hear a boom, and we go in the bathroom, see her eye like that. So we try to.
When was that?
What was that? I think happened yesterday afternoon. It was an eye thing. Around yesterday afternoon.
What time yesterday afternoon?
I'm gonna say I can't give you time. Sorry, but it was afternoon, not late night, early afternoon, maybe 3, 4. That's what I'm guessing it.
And what did the eye look like yesterday at the time when you're saying she fell off the toilet?
And hit her head on the tub. It was the same as it is now.
Oh, she hit her head on the tub?
Like when she fell off the toilet.
How do you know? How do you know she hit her head on the tub?
Because that's when the eye thing happened. When she was sitting on the toilet because her stomach wasn't feeling well and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the kitchen. Sierra puts her in her. Mm-hmm. She comes out to me okay, we're gonna see what's going on. What was her stomach not feeling good? Give her some ginger ale. Try to make some soup or something. All we know is we hear a boom, and so we're automatically assuming she hit her head.
Okay, so you were just assuming. You didn't see that.
No. You hear a boom, you come in, you see your child's eye, you kind of you kind of try to make your own assumptions and everything.
Right. So I look at the injury to the eye, and there's a laceration, so the skin is open, and I know because I have 4 kids, and they've hit their heads, and the head is a concentrated area for blood. The heart pumps the blood very forcefully to the head. So, were you alarmed at the amount of blood that was coming out of the wound yesterday?
No, it was blood, but it wasn't as bad. You know what I mean? It was just a really big, black eye. It wasn't really a lot of blood coming out at all.
Okay, I'm shocked because the way that looked, it
was a lot of blood coming.
It should have bled a lot, right?
Yes.
Did you guys have to clean up the blood?
We had to clean up too much of anything. I mean, we had to clean up some stuff, but it wasn't a lot of blood spill or anything like that at all.
Okay.
Forensics determined that bleeding had occurred in the bathroom and that both Lewis and Day tried to clean it up. A small fall for a child of that age should not have caused that much damage, and if it had, a typical parent would have taken them to be seen by a doctor.
You said you had to clean up some stuff. What did you have to clean up?
No, just like the little from her head and her head. We tried to make sure everything was cool with her. It was a little blood, not a lot. Cleaned that up real quick. Let her down. We let her down right after that.
Okay. Did you call the doctor yesterday when she fell off the toilet?
We did call the 24-hour nurse, but I don't think we called her yesterday. If she did, I must have went around, but I know we did not call the 24-hour nurse yesterday at all.
Okay.
You know, she wasn't feeling well.
Okay, so no call to medical professionals yesterday about the fall on the toilet. Okay. You're pretty involved with care.
Mm-hmm.
Does she call you Dad?
Sierra had her call me Dad once or twice, but
Yeah.
you know, it's something my mom had a different boyfriend when I was growing up, so that's like a sensitive matter to me. So I never try to force the issue of calling me Dad because just being a kid growing up, I can understand how that would be.
Okay. So as a father figure, maybe she doesn't call you Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Are you participating in the regular child care for
Yes,
Aniya?
Feeding her and everything.
Feeding her?
Help wash up, yes.
Yeah. Okay. What about visits to the pediatrician? Do you know her pediatrician's name? Aniya's
No, I have
pediatrician?
taken her to her doctors before, but
You have taken her to the doctor?
Yes.
Where's that at? Where's the doctor's office?
Located right down the street. You got Lakeshore. Was that University Hospital?
Describe the building to me.
It is the hospital. It's University Hospital. University Hospital, right on the left-hand side of
What's
Lakeshore.
it by?
Right-hand side.
I just want to make sure.
185th.
Okay, so the big new building
Yes,
in
ma'am.
the front?
Mhm.
Okay, so you've got the University Hospitals right here up by Lakeshore and the Euclid Hospital back here, right?
Oh, well, I know when I put in the parking lot, I was always making a right and going all the way to the back. So it was like the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. It's right across the street from 185th.
Okay, there's two medical facilities there. That's why I'm going to ask you. I'm actually going to pull up a picture on my phone. Okay?
Okay. I thought that was one medical facility.
No, and it's two separate.
Things?
It's actually two completely separate hospital systems.
Oh, wow.
So this is that's not a good picture, but this is the Cleveland Clinic Hospital, which is Euclid Hospital.
Okay, so,
Okay, and
yes, we went to the back. Yep.
okay, so let me see if it'll take us back there. Because at first you described what I thought was university, but then you said you went to the back,
Mm-hmm.
and if you go behind the hospital,
Make that right.
and
yeah.
all the way around, there's a building back here by the lake.
Yes, ma'am.
And is that where she went to the pediatrician?
Yes, ma'am. That round building.
Okay. Okay, so that's called the Euclid Hospital Medical Building. Do you remember the name of the pediatrician?
No, I never went inside with the doctors.
Oh, you didn't?
I would just drop them off, you know.
Oh, okay, so you drove them there?
Uh-huh.
And do you remember about what time of year that was when you went to the doctor with them?
I would say like maybe August. Maybe August or September. One of the two were our last appointments at the doctor.
Okay. And what was that visit for?
Regular checkup.
And what did they tell you guys about Aniya's health at that time?
She told me when Sierra came back and told me that everything was good with the health, everything was perfectly fine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Smart, healthy young child.
Okay. So that was for a well check?
Mm-hmm.
Were there any concerns about Aniya's health at that time?
No.
And that was the late summer or early fall, August of September of 2017?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you didn't go in?
No, ma'am.
You dropped off Sierra and Aniya? Is that right? Okay. What do you do? Well, like, why don't you go in? I'm just curious. I'm not.
I think one time I called off work. I actually called off because she needed a ride up there. I called off work one time. I was just either staying in the parking lot or I left.
Okay.
And I came back and picked them up. I know one time I actually left home because I had to use my parents' car.
Okay.
I left home and went back home to my parents while they was doing what they had to do. Then I came back up there and picked them up.
Okay.
I was like, you know, that's your business to handle, so I would just leave. Never really stayed and waited.
Okay.
And it's being part of our relationship too, so I would be like, you know, all right, I'll just come back.
Okay. All right, I gotcha. All right. She has the injury you're talking about, the eye injury that you say was caused when she fell off the toilet yesterday. Which eye is that on?
The left one.
The left eye? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So I saw that injury. I'm also wondering about like a bruise or red mark that's swollen on her forehead. Do you know anything about that?
That could have happened from when she fell too as well, because she doesn't, really do anything.
Okay. All right. What do you mean she doesn't do anything?
No, I'm talking about like trying to hurt herself. I know that could have happened from the eye thing, because there's nothing else that could have happened from her head to have another injury unless it all came at once.
Okay. And what's going on with the skin on her legs?
We did that from Johnson & Johnson.
You did what?
We did that from the Johnson & Johnson baby soap that we bought her. Because we've been talking about that before, because we seen it on the leg, on the foot and everything. I mean, on the leg and everything. Mm-hmm. And we both had talked to each other. Maybe this is from the Johnson & Johnson, because that
what kind of soap are you using on her legs?
The Johnson & Johnson.
Johnson & Johnson what? They make more than one product.
It's the kids soap, but it's the pink bottle. It was the I don't know, guys. I'm sorry. It's the pink bottle, but I said it's for hair and body.
Okay.
For kids.
Okay.
Now, the weirdest thing is, we was talking about that. She said she seen something on YouTube where they're talking about you don't want kids using Johnson & Johnson no more. But we like, well, we don't be using it all. She's been using it all her life.
Right. Okay. Do you understand why I'm asking you these questions about her injuries? Okay. Yes. Why do you think I'm asking you?
This is a child right here. This child is going on. We want to make sure everything's good, not just us, but you guys as well.
Yeah. And how do you think I'm feeling right now about the answers you're giving me?
I really couldn't say. I mean, I know they're all, from what accurate as far as my information, as far as my knowledge goes. But other than that, I feel like I'm helping out as best as I can.
Okay.
My brand, I'm helping out as best as I can here.
Okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate you coming over here and being willing to talk with us.
Yes,
because anytime that we believe a child's been injured, of course.
We want to make sure.
We want to do the best we can for that child.
The detective is tired of Lewis's poorly thought out excuses. Aniya's injuries were severe, and several of them had obviously occurred over a long period of time. There's no way they are consistent with the story he is trying to spin.
I asked you a little bit earlier if you were ever concerned about any of the discipline that Sierra, did you think that the discipline was always appropriate to the level of misbehavior for a 4-year-old or 3-year-old, whatever, however?
Yeah, because we wouldn't touch her or anything. Yes, if you want to stand in the corner, go to timeout. I always thought that was appropriate, especially if you're being bad, if you're talking back to grown-ups and everything like that. I find those type of things appropriate as well.
And do you think that Sierra always handled the discipline appropriately? You don't think she went too far?
No.
Okay. If you could tell me a situation where you thought Sierra went too far, which situation would it be?
I couldn't, because she never took the situation too far at all.
Okay.
The bruise on the eye came from Aniya just passing out on the toilet. So, and then the leg stuff came from from what we believe is the Johnson & Johnson and everything.
Okay.
Other than that, I've been around Sierra. She does great with kids. She does great at daycare and everything. So.
Okay. All right. We'll get back to that. You wrote in your statement that you went to Red Lobster.
Mm-hmm.
When was that?
I forgot what day was that. Last Wednesday or last Thursday we went with my family.
Which Red Lobster did you go to?
The one on the Minor.
Did you take Aniya with you?
Yes.
Okay. And could we narrow it down a little bit more so that when I get video I can not be searching through all of it to find your family there? Like you said you thought it was Wednesday or Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to look at a calendar to see which day it was?
Here, I'll go for last Thursday. I can go for last Thursday.
Well, I want to be as accurate as possible so we're not guessing. Okay, so I'm looking at the month of March here. Right now we're on Sunday, March 11th.
Mm-hmm.
So Wednesday was the 7th.
Mm-hmm.
Thursday was the 8th. Does any one of those days?
Thursday.
It was Thursday the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
What time did you guys go there?
What time did we go there? Like afternoon. I'm like an afternoon sometime.
Was it dark out yet?
No, not too dark, no. Getting there, but it wasn't too dark at all.
Was it dark when you came out?
A little bit, yes. Yes, it was.
Okay.
So we got to leave, it could have been like around 5 or something like that.
Okay, so it was before dark when you got there, or a little bit dark when you got there, and it was still a little bit dark when you came out?
No, a little light when we got there. So like around 5 before it got too dark. We was in there eating, and then we left out.
Okay, and who was with you?
Just my family.
Who's your
me,
family?
Aniya, Sierra, my brother, and my mom.
Okay, is that the brother that you told me about?
Well, I don't know who else was with us. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really know who else was with us.
Your brother Jason?
My brother Jason.
He was there with you? Okay, and your mom Paulette?
No, actually, I would say my mom. My mom was Deborah, but my grandmother name is Paulette, so she's my grandmother.
Oh, so
My
your mom. All
granddad.
right, I'm gonna go back to this form and just add that information. Okay, so is this your biological mom that was there with you at Red Lobster?
No,
Who are you
my grandmother.
referring to at Red
My
Lobster? Well, I asked you if Paulette was at Red Lobster, and you said no.
My grandma was with us. Say it again, I'm sorry. I didn't say my grandma was
All right,
with
let's
us.
start over.
Sorry about that.
You went to Red Lobster what day last week?
Thursday.
Okay. And which location did you go to?
Dinner.
And what time was it when you got there?
About 5. I think it was around 5.
Okay. And who list everybody that was at the restaurant with you that night?
Yeah, I remember me, her, our daughter. Somebody was supposed to come up there. My cousin was supposed to come up, but she didn't. So I'm saying my brother was there.
Who's your brother?
Jason Lewis, my mom, Deborah Lewis.
Okay, who's Deborah Lewis?
My mother, my biological mother, not my
Okay.
grandmother, my biological mother.
Okay, was Paulette Howard there?
No,
She was not there.
no. She was supposed to come here there with my granddad, but they couldn't show up.
Okay, so Deborah was there.
Yes.
How do you spell Deborah?
Deborah.
All right, I'm gonna add her to this list, okay? So,
Nothing happened at Red Lobster, just the fact that we felt
okay, I'm just getting a timeline of any medical problems, okay?
The police do not believe that anything occurred at the restaurant. They are mainly interested in the possible security footage that could show them Aniya's physical condition.
Do you know your mom Deborah's birthday?
Oh, Jesus. She'd kill me if she was here. October 15th. Look, somebody's got the first. My grandma's birthday is October 1st. My mom's birthday is October 15th.
And do you know
A year no.
do you know how old?
My mom is?
Yeah.
She's about to turn 44 this year?
Well, she had you very young, huh?
Yes, 18. Well, Lieutenant came out at 19.
Okay. And how old is Paulette?
I do not know my grandmother's age.
How old would you say she is approximately?
Close to 60.
Okay. So all I did was add to that form that you added your biological mother, Deborah Lewis, as your mom, approximately 44 years old, born on October 15th. And I just wrote a birth date of October 1st, unknown year, approximately 60 years old for your grandma. So list the people again that were at the Red Lobster that night.
Jason and my mother.
Start over from the beginning. Who's at the restaurant?
Jason, my brother, my mother. Who are people I invited.
Okay, you said Jason, then you said your brother.
I'm sorry, Jason is my brother. Jason Lewis is my brother.
Okay.
My mother,
His first name?
Deborah Lewis.
Okay.
Me, Aniya, Sierra. Now, we try to make a little big thing where everybody came out. People did come out. We don't know, I can't tell you every single person that was in there, but I do know people that I invited who showed up, who came, ate some food with us. The restaurant did get a little packed and everything, so other people that she might have invited sat elsewhere.
Okay. And do you remember what Aniya ordered?
We had girls some shrimp and a little bit of some pasta. I don't know what kind of pasta it's called, but like linguine, if that makes sense. Or the Alfredo pasta.
Did she eat it on her own?
Mm-hmm.
And how does she eat? Does she?
She well know how to eat. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Go ahead.
She knows how to eat. Excuse me. She knows how to eat very well, like clean, very clean.
And does she use utensils?
Yes.
So she can eat the shrimp and the pasta with
A fork.
fork.
Mm-hmm.
How was her appetite that night?
Pretty good. I know some I noticed when we got home, you know, she wasn't feeling this. She wasn't feeling herself anymore. So we try to figure out like why. You know what I mean? Why was that and all that? But we just thought maybe like something. We assumed it was something she ate there.
What do you mean she wasn't feeling herself?
She was telling her stomach was hurting.
Okay.
How she just wasn't feeling well.
What kind of symptoms did you observe her to have?
Just being tired, not wanting to like really walk, not really wanting to like, she wanted to just rest.
These symptoms are consistent with the malnourishment that Aniya experienced.
She just really wanted to rest a lot, and we didn't understand why.
And if that was Thursday, then did you guys take her to the doctor on Friday?
No, we called a 24-hour nurse.
When was that? When did you call the nurse?
When did we call the nurse? She called a
Who's
nurse.
she?
Sierra called a nurse. She called a 24-hour nurse. I wasn't around when she called. I know she did call a 24-hour nurse because when I came back home, she did tell me she called a 24-hour nurse. And
What day do you think that was?
I'm going to say last Friday or this past Saturday, one of the 2 days.
Do you know which nurse or which medical facility?
No, she just told me she called a 24-hour nurse.
And what did she tell you that they said?
She was like, they said just give her some rest, you know, just make sure there's not a stomach virus and things like that. Just let her lay down and rest her head and just, you know, let her just try to get over it, if that makes sense. So, of course, we took it upon ourselves to try to give her ginger ale and try to give her soup.
Okay.
To try to offset the stomach pain.
Okay. Do you know what dehydration does to kids? Like, I know this is your first, is this your first involvement with taking care of a young child?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, well, because I have kids, I'm not the doctor.
Yes, ma'am.
But I know when my kids have been sick and not been able to eat or whatever, that I always watch for signs of dehydration. Did Sierra say anything about what the nurse said about that?
No.
Do you know anything about dehydration in children?
Yes. Well, I know you gotta keep. I just know as far as a human go, you have to keep a kid dehydrated. You gotta keep a kid hydrated.
Right. Okay. And do you know what it looks like when someone is dehydrated?
No.
Okay. Right. You had said earlier that you help her clean herself up. What did you mean by that?
Like,
you were saying giving care to Aniya.
Yeah, you know, help feeding, you know, helping to wash up and everything like that. You know, whenever Sierra needed me, you know, just there to help out.
So, who did she take baths or showers?
Baths.
And when's the last time you helped her take a bath?
Washed her up yesterday.
You're saying washed her up?
We washed her the day before. We washed her up the day before yesterday.
Okay.
I helped her. Because she wasn't feeling too well, so we tried to give her a bath. We tried to, you know, we helped. You know what I mean? Because she wasn't feeling herself to wash herself up. Of course, we got to keep her clean, so we decided to like help. Well, I decided to help her wash her up. She needed me to hold her up, stand her up. Because kids are heavy, so you know, you need me to help you do whatever. I was just there.
Okay. So you saw what she looked like during this bath. I mean, just because some dads who are not the biological dad, which is kind of the position you're in, are not always wanting to be around the child when the child is not clothed. But you're comfortable with that. You don't have any problem helping her bathe. Okay. All right.
No type of I you know, no mind when I first started dating, you know, I wasn't around, but the more I was around, it was like, okay, I need to start helping out whenever I can, whenever Sierra needed me to help out. Yeah, to be honest, no, I wasn't comfortable.
So Aniya,
I was not comfortable.
You weren't comfortable at first?
Right. Even at first.
How are you now?
I'm comfortable, like, as far as just helping out. I always tell Sierra whenever you need me to help out, just help, you know, wash her up. A couple times Sierra back was hurting where I'm like, all right, I got her. I wash her back and her legs and stuff like that. I don't touch her private areas.
Okay, I gotcha.
I leave it up to mom. Your back
That's
hurting.
pretty much true. Most dads, biological or not, yeah.
Your back hurting, you still got to, you know, I wash her back, I wash her legs, got her neck, her stomach. You got to do the rest.
Okay, all right. So, how many days ago was this bath?
The day before yesterday.
Today's Sunday.
Right, then we try to get her last Friday. We try to get her another bath today and everything. But she just wasn't, you know, after everything that happened last night, she wasn't feeling too well.
Okay.
So we said, yeah, we don't get
So, could Aniya hold her own weight up during that bath on Friday? Okay. I thought you had said that Sierra needed you to hold her, that she...
No, I was talking about like if she ever needed me, like whenever she needed me to hold her and help her out, I would. Because she wasn't feeling well like today. But today, Friday, yeah, she was holding herself up.
How about today's bath?
No, she was not doing too good at all. She wasn't doing too good at all. Not at all.
It was today.
Yes.
You remember what time today?
Right before we called. Okay, I've been here for some hours. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. Who called 911?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
Okay.
We both was talking to the lady that I called.
All right.
Lewis and Day panicked when Aniya became unresponsive. They tried to minimize the injuries as much as possible, but they knew it would look even more suspicious if they didn't seek help.
So you gave her a bath. You gave Aniya a bath today, and you said she wasn't well at all. What did you mean by that?
She wasn't responsive. She wasn't responsive. She really wasn't
During
responsive.
the bath, she wasn't responsive?
Right, where we had to cut the bath short because she wasn't being responsive at all.
Okay. And the marks on her legs, were they bleeding while you were bathing her today?
No.
How about her eye? Was that bleeding while
No.
she was being bathed today?
No. She didn't want to eat anything. She didn't want to drink anything.
Mm-hmm.
We both thought it was, we both thought it was weird. We thought we let you sleep it off and everything like that, but that didn't help.
Okay.
Got
So,
worked.
if you called, you think you bathed her around 2 p.m.?
Was that around 2?
Well, that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing the time, yes.
Okay. Do you know what time 911 was called?
Around the same time, because right after we got done bathing, we got a call because she wasn't still being responsive. We thought, put her in some water. We put her in some water and everything, and kind of hey, come on, wake up, come on, we need you to, be active. It wasn't working, so we called right after that. So around the same time.
Okay.
How is Aniya doing as well?
We're gonna keep talking about that. I just want to understand what kind of medical history, what kind of.
The detective deflects Lewis's question about Aniya. For now, he thinks there is still a chance he can lie his way out of the situation. If he knows that Aniya is dead, he will become reticent.
So like a minute ago, I was asking you about dehydration. Do you know why I was asking you if you know about dehydration in children?
Well, because she wasn't, she might have been dehydrated or something?
Well, I just want to know if you knew the signs and.
No, I just know she wasn't trying to drink anything, so I would say that could have been.
How long had that been going on, her not trying to drink anything?
Just today, she tried to drink something. She was drinking stuff a little bit yesterday, but really just today she didn't want anything.
Just today?
Mm-hmm.
What would she usually have to drink?
Water, a lot of water. Ginger ale, a little bit of pop every now and then, and juice. But when I say we keep her with water, we believe in water.
Mm-hmm. Does she like to drink water?
She drink water, yeah, but no kids really like drinking water, to be honest with you. You gotta, put it in a straw and make them think it's juice or pop when it's really water.
Okay. All right.
But it's also another thing too, she wasn't holding nothing down, she couldn't hold anything down.
How long had that been going on?
Just for a few days. She really couldn't hold too much of anything in her stomach.
What day do you think that started?
I say Friday. As far as my knowledge goes, I think it was Friday.
Okay, and we're talking about
Sunday.
Friday of what?
This month.
Okay, today's Sunday. How many days ago? Friday?
2 days ago.
Okay, so like March 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you mean by she wasn't holding anything down?
And throw things up, spit up. She was spitting things back up. We tried to give her.
Okay, what were you trying to give her?
And ginger ale, water, trying to get her appetite back by feeding her foods.
Okay. And what did the doctor say or the nurse on call say about?
Well, I know she already told me that the nurse called and just said, it could be a stomach virus or something like that. Just let her rest. Just really let her rest.
Okay. Right.
I know she was trying to give her Tylenol and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh, trying to give her Tylenol? Why, did she have a fever?
She thought maybe it could just help,
When was that?
You didn't check it some time? No, I think it might have been like last Thursday. Last Friday.
Okay.
Well, like I said, I wasn't around. I was around, but I wasn't around. I ended up leaving out when she said she called a 24-hour nurse. So she started telling me she wanted to give her Tylenol. I'm like, well, ain't that's the best thing to do. So she kept just spinning everything back up. Like, kept spinning everything up. It really just got.
Okay. So during the bath that you helped with both today and recently, what would you say that you observed Aniya to be a normal size for a 4-year-old child?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you have exposure to other young children in your life?
No, I have a nephew, which is my brother Jason's son.
Yeah. How old is Jason's son?
4.
He's 4. So you do have.
Well, yes, he's.
So not only do you have exposure to another child, but a child that's the same age as Aniya.
Mm-hmm.
What's Jason's son's name?
JCS Lewis, Jaceon Devon Lewis, Jaceon.
JAC.
Jaceon.
And his last name?
Lewis, Lewis.
And he's 4 years old?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And how do you get along with JCN?
Sorry. That's my nephew. I love him to death.
Do you get to spend a lot of time with him?
Whenever I decide to leave, whenever I leave my girl and I go, I'm going to my brother's house for a minute, I go, my brother pick me up, I spend time with JCN.
Okay. Frequently?
I've been around him actually at least 2-3 times a week for the last couple of weeks, yes. I might have been over there one day and go over there again.
Okay. And how long have you known JCN?
His entire life.
Since his birth?
4 years.
Okay.
I think JCN thinks he lived a long life, but we look at him like he has not lived.
Yeah, he's like an infant. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put JCN and Aniya next to each other, who's bigger?
JCN. Aniya's taller. JCN's bigger.
Okay. Do you see JCN in the summer when he's running around in shorts or tank top or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what would you say that the condition of his body, the size of his shoulders, arms, legs, looks like compared to Aniya's?
Really the same, to be honest. So we always felt as though Aniya was a little bit taller, Jason was a little bit heavier. I even told that to my girl when I got home. I said, baby, I picked up JCN. Little dude is heavy.
Mm-hmm. Heavier than Aniya?
Yeah, both of them are heavy, yes, but he's heavier than Aniya, yes.
Okay.
He's a boy. Jesus. I try to do the uncle thing and pick him up, but God, they're heavy.
Is JCN potty trained?
Yes.
He is? Okay. What about Aniya?
Yes.
And when did Aniya complete potty training?
Sarah told me she's been potty trained for years now.
Oh, so she was potty trained before you were in the picture?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why she was wearing the pull-up type underpants today?
She's just been having accidents. So instead of us trying to clean up, what's that called? Drawers, underclothes. Mm-hmm. We just when you put a pull-up on her when she's laying down, you just put one on her for right now.
Okay. Would she have accidents where she peed or accidents where she pooped or both?
Both.
Both?
Yes.
And when did that start?
Was it a few days back?
Did you guys always have pull-ups in the house?
Uh-huh. When they go get some, because, sorry for y'all, I'm so sorry for that. When they go get some, because she's having accidents, and it's not really common to her or myself. Mm-hmm. So we went to the initiative, let's go buy her some pull-ups.
Okay.
Let's just go ahead, get out of this, get her out of this, whatever's going on with her, let's get her out of this now.
Okay, and did I misunderstand you? I asked you, did you always have pull-ups in the house? I thought you said yes.
As of recently, yes, pull-ups.
Okay, how many days?
About 3 days, 4 days now.
Before that, did you keep pull-ups in the house or buy them?
She did. She went to the daycare. She'd keep some pull-ups just because she said, every now and then she wouldn't have accidents, so she kept some pull-ups in the house.
Okay. So, So you bought them recently, but you've had them in the past.
Mm-hmm. We have
Is that
some
what you're saying?
Yes, we have some pleasant past. Yes.
Okay. I'm concerned because the way Aniya looks today, I feel like if I put Aniya and JCS next to each other, you would see a healthy, robust, normal weight child, and Aniya who looks to be severely underweight. What do you think about that?
We feel like she's been throwing things up and having like bowel movement problems. So we think it could just be a loss of weight. We don't know why. We try feeding her. We try to keep on feeding her.
Yeah.
So we don't understand why she's started looking like that.
Okay. When did she start looking like that?
In the last few days. In the last few days. It started like a little bit before then, but she was still eating.
It started before then. So the last few days.
Her body's been looking really bad.
But her body's been looking really bad the last few days.
Yes.
Okay. And when did you first notice the body started looking really bad? For
myself, it was, I want to say Friday. Because
we've got the last few days covered. I'm talking about when you used to be able to put JCS and Aniya next to each other and see two healthy children. When did that start changing? When did Aniya start looking to be sick or small or whatever?
I mean, we felt like she was losing a little bit of weight because she wasn't trying to eat as much before, but...
When are we talking about?
I really don't know. I never really seen her, Aniya, body like that, except whenever I help wash up, but...
Aniya was emaciated to an extent that would have been impossible to have taken only a matter of days. Lewis knows this and is uncomfortable with being pinned down about how long this had been going on.
As far as I'm concerned, she was always looking healthy to me, so I couldn't even say that.
Okay.
I just know, from Friday to today, how her body's, kind of changed, was what started worrying us.
Okay. So you said that there was a time period where she wasn't eating as good, and she started to
Saturday she
lose weight. And what? It's March now, or are we going back? How far back are we going?
We're not going too far back at all. I'm only looking at the last few days where her body started acting like this when she didn't want to eat after the whole relationship.
Sure, I understand that. The last few days probably pretty bad. But when did Sierra or you first start noticing a trend of weight loss in Aniya? Like you said, she wasn't eating as well. We're talking about beyond a few days ago. It's March right now.
Oh, she was perfectly fine. She was perfectly fine.
She was perfectly fine? Okay, but you said that Sierra or you had noticed some weight loss and that she wasn't eating well. And you were talking about a time period before the last few days. Which time period were you talking about?
Yesterday when she wasn't eating too well and all that. I was referring about yesterday.
You were referring about yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, she's not trying to eat. She's not trying to really eat nothing right now. She wasn't trying to drink anything. She didn't want to hold anything down.
Okay. All right. Do you understand why I keep asking you? Why?
Yes.
Tell me why you
want to make sure. You want to make sure what's going on is what's going on with Aniya and everything. You want to make sure she's okay. You want to make sure she's in the proper care.
Okay. She's not okay. She's not okay.
She's not.
She's not okay. No. I mean, there's signs that more than just the last few days there's something going on with her. Okay. And I understand that you're scared. Are you scared right now?
I just want to make sure everything's good with her, my wife, myself. I do want to make sure everything's perfectly fine. We keep her fed, you know what I mean?
Sure.
We keep her bathed. Little weight loss, we think that we automatically, in our eyes, that's, JCS loses weight. He's a kid. He gains weight and loses weight as well. So it's not really a big issue. I didn't really think much of a big issue as well. Of her, losing a little weight, except Saturday when I noticed we're married talking, we're looking like she's not looking like herself. She's not feeling like herself.
Okay. And if I go get video from Red Lobster, I will see her on there. Will I see Aniya in the restaurant behaving normally?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'll go get that video, right? So if you want to tell me something now that I'm going to see that you haven't told me already, this is the time to do it.
No, ma'am.
Okay. She's feeding herself.
Yes.
Okay. JCS was there or no?
Yes.
JCS was at the restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who ate more, JCS or Aniya?
I can't tell you that. I was paying attention to who ate more.
Okay. What did he eat, JCS?
I don't know. by now, okay, what is going on with Aniya?
Well, I mean, you knew she was in pretty serious condition when you called us, right?
Yes.
What were you thinking was going on with her when you called us?
Just the breathing.
What about the breathing?
Just like how slow she was breathing. It was like, you see, like how slow she was breathing. She was breathing, but how slow it was going.
Mm-hmm.
That was, what time was that? Remember the 911 call?
Yeah, about 2 in the afternoon today. Was that like around 2, right after the bath.
Okay. So
I just went after this ER.
you're the one that called us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what did you tell the dispatcher first?
Yeah, she was having a hard time breathing. We know what was going on with her.
Okay.
Talking about doing CPR.
What do you mean doing CPR?
Sierra, she was on the phone with Sierra talking about doing CPR because she was having a hard time breathing. Like, she was breathing, but it was a hard time. Her eyes was open, everything was fine. Her pupils were perfectly fine and everything. So
Her eyes were open, pupils were fine?
Yes. Yes.
Um,
But the breathing was just like making us nervous, and I was just like, we need to call.
okay.
Lewis and Day were certainly concerned, but only about being caught. It was never about the well-being of Aniya.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Is this somewhere we can go and see Aniya after this?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I just want to get a real good history of
No problem.
what was going on. And I did listen to the 911 call.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a point where, like, you switch who's talking to the dispatcher. Why did you do that?
Because Sierra was in early childhood. She knew how to handle kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so she started talking to Sierra so she can, like, okay, do this, do 35 pumps against the chest and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Sierra was doing that.
Okay. Did you guys, before calling us, was there a time earlier in the day where her breathing was an issue? Or Aniya's
No.
breathing was an issue?
No, not that we noticed. No, we let her just sleep. We let her sleep. Let her, when she wake up, we was gonna go and check on her. So no.
Okay.
No, not at all.
Okay. And so, did you sleep at the apartment last night?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at any time today, did you leave the apartment?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did Sierra leave the apartment?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so you were, and if you and Sierra didn't leave, I'm assuming Aniya didn't leave, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so all three of you were home all day.
Mm-hmm.
And when did that start? When was the last time anybody left the apartment?
I think I was when we Lobster. What day? I think I left for a minute Friday. You left Friday when I left for a minute?
Okay.
I'm assuming it was Friday. I went to my brother's for a minute.
Okay. And that was the last time anybody left the apartment?
Mm-hmm.
What time did you go to your brother's?
Early afternoon. No, not early afternoon. Might have been like around 5 in the afternoon.
Okay, and how long did you stay there?
Just for a couple hours.
When did you get back to the apartment?
Like, it was like maybe 10.
10 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Cavs was playing. I think the Cavs game was on that night. I think the Cavs game was on that Friday night, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was the night.
Okay. All right, and then once you got back to the apartment Friday night around 10 p.m., did you stay? Did you sleep at the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
Did Aniya and Sierra both sleep at the apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
And at any time yesterday, which was Saturday, did anybody leave the apartment?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, so you were together the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you witness Sierra trying to give CPR or rescue breathing to
No,
Aniya earlier today, other than when you did it when you guys called us?
That was it. We tried it before. We tried it before. She like touched her chest a little
Hold
bit.
on. So
We told the dispatcher when we called that
Okay.
we tried to make sure she was cool with her breathing and everything. And then the dispatcher said, "Well, hold on, wait a minute," and then she started helping us as well.
okay.
That's when Sierra took over the phone.
Okay. So You said you didn't witness Sierra give CPR Aniya earlier today.
Except for today, I'm sorry. Except for today. One other time before today, Sierra was pumping her chest a little bit, make sure she was cool. Then we called.
What time was that, do you think?
Right after we got her out the tub, right while we was calling the dispatcher, we was doing all this stuff, like simultaneously. Something like that.
Okay. That's a little bit different than the timeline that Sierra says it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain why you're telling me something that's not? I mean, you just said that since Friday, no one has left the apartment. So you've spent, how many bedrooms are in the apartment? One bedroom. So a small apartment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not likely that something would be going on in the apartment that you don't know about, right? Okay. And you have not left the apartment. You've been there with Aniya and Sierra since Friday at 10 p.m. Nobody's left the apartment. Right. Okay. So I'm just wondering why you and Sierra would have different stories and different times of the things that are going on in the apartment today with Aniya being so sick.
Well, today, when we called a dispatcher, I think like around 2, that's the time I'm guessing. That's the time I was guessing when we called.
Okay. So that doesn't answer my question. You're telling me this CPR attempted CPR.
Now, when I say CPR, I'm talking about the pumping of the chest with the hands and all that, yes.
Okay, so that happened when?
Today.
What time?
I'm going to go around 2 p.m. when we were trying to do this.
Okay, all right. So what is Sierra referring to when she tells us that she tried CPR earlier in the day?
I guess you'll be referring to earlier in the day today.
Well, but she does not say that it's right around the time of the bath. She doesn't say that at all.
Well, I can really explain that. Like I said, when I was telling you about CPR, like I said, I know it was like right when we were calling the officers and everything, she was...
One of the factors of the case that plays into the detectives' favor is that everything happened too quickly for Day and Lewis to go over the details of their story. There are already inconsistencies, and Lewis is having to make up excuses as he goes along.
Doing the stuff with the hands and all that.
Okay, all right. So, how this is personal. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but how serious is your relationship with Sierra? I mean, you love her like she was your wife. Is that what's going on? Do you want to have children with her?
Yes.
Okay. How far would you go to protect Sierra? That's kind of what I'm getting at.
Oh, no, we, just, like, as far as protecting her, I mean, you mean protecting, you mean against what? Like, you know, if somebody pulls out a knife or a gun.
Sure. Like, would you fight dragons and stop bullets?
You know, if I was Superman, yes. Even
if you could, you would for Sierra? Is that right?
Yeah, I would help her out, yes.
Okay.
I only assume that because I feel like anybody who cares about somebody would do that.
Physically, you would protect her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. There's other ways to protect someone, right?
Yeah, but make sure everything's good, right?
Right. Well, I'm talking about a different way, where like if you knew somebody did something that wasn't right.
Oh, no.
Telling a story to protect them, hoping that they won't get in trouble.
Right.
No, I wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that for Sierra?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay. Well, someone's not telling us the truth. So one of you is protecting the other. And if you want to be honest with me, this would probably be a good time before you dig yourself a deeper.
Lewis is slow to catch on to the fact that the detective is accusing him of lying to cover for Day. But once he does, his denial is swift and emphatic.
Yeah, Dad, I know we called the people to let the guys know about Aniya's breathing problems.
Who you called?
The dispatcher.
Okay.
That's right.
All right.
Around the time frames, if we got the times mixed up, that's my fault, but I'm just trying to guess the time.
The times, I'm not talking about the times, I'm talking about a totally different story of what happened today. Okay. I have other concerns as well, but I know someone is not being honest, and I'm just giving you the opportunity to tell me the truth, because that obviously is much better for you in the long run, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Do you want to start over?
No, ma'am. Not at all, because I couldn't make it more clear than what I already said already.
Okay.
Right now, I'm worried about Aniya and I worry about Sierra right now.
Okay.
That's really my main focus.
What is your main focus?
Them being safe.
that made it safe?
Yes, both of them.
Okay. All right.
You know, we had a lot of things going on today as far as with this going on. I didn't expect to be here right now when we called 911 to check on our daughter.
Yeah. You called 911 to check on your daughter? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like we called because we was worried about her, so that's when we called and everything.
Okay.
And then even today I've been trying to see when can we go up there to see her.
Okay.
If you don't mind, Jen, what kind of Sierra? How does she keep the house usually?
Clean, very clean.
Very clean. Is there a reason why she's just always been that way?
Well, she believes, and she had me to believe in the same thing. You know, clean house just brings a great positive energy, a great vibe. You know, so OCD. You know, she's very clean.
Okay. All right. Is she that way with Aniya too?
Mm-hmm.
Right, keeps her real clean.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does she ever get mad when things get misplaced or put out?
No.
And she never physically disciplines her?
No.
Usually just timeouts?
Timeouts.
And how long do those usually last?
However long, however long she sees fit,
I don't know what that means.
It can be 10, 15 minutes.
Never longer than 10, 15 minutes?
Not from my knowledge, no.
Does she ever keep anything from Aniya?
Yeah, if you're being bad, we're not gonna give you if you're being bad, you're not gonna get no juice right now. You might want some juice, you want some candy. We're not gonna give you candy at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning when you need food in your system.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, that's it.
Okay.
I would like to know if I can ask you guys a question, what's all going on right now with us and Aniya. I would like to know what's going on now because you guys have information that I would like to know, like how is Aniya doing, how Sierra's doing.
Yeah.
How are
Sierra's
they
fine.
doing?
Sierra's fine.
Is there some way where you can go and see Aniya today?
Well, we've got to get some of these answers sorted out here to some of the problems we are facing with
No
the
problem.
statements not.
Adding up.
Yeah, right.
Well, I gave my assumption of how I seen fit of what happened today.
You said you called them your assumptions of what happened today?
That what happened, yes, my opinion of what happened,
Okay.
yes. And then I've been asking all day how Sierra's been doing. I've been trying to figure out how Aniya's been doing. They said we had waiting on detectives to get here, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm just like waiting to see what's going on here
So
now.
worry about Sierra.
Yeah, we're both
Worry about Sierra. You keep mentioning Sierra first.
well, yeah, because I know we're both here now,
Okay.
but
And how long have you known Sierra? I'm saying in this intimate relationship that you guys have shared.
Oh, this
Couple
month?
months, you said?
No, we've been messing around since like June, but we got together in
6
July.
months, 6, 7 months.
Mhm.
You guys it's been a whirlwind relationship, spending all time together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But, can you tell me anything more about the bath today that you gave
No,
or that you participated in?
no, it was just
Nothing unusual happened.
no, not at all. Just the fact that we seen we worried about her breathing, and that was about it. So we stopped the bath and
There wasn't any like marks on her other than her eye.
right. And then this stuff right here, we believe came from the Johnson & Johnson lotion. We don't lotion the soap.
When you said this stuff, what are you referring to?
Just you said the marks on her legs. You saying?
Yeah, the marks
Yes.
on your legs.
Yes.
How, do you guys have control over your hot water tank setting in the apartment?
No.
No control over it?
No.
How hot is it when it comes out the tap?
It can get hot, but not severely hot. From my understanding, we keep the water warm.
You don't have control over it?
No.
Okay. Have you ever felt where it was hot enough to have to pull your own hand out of the stream of water that runs out of your faucet?
Mm-hmm.
So it gets pretty hot.
Yes.
Hot enough to burn.
Mm-hmm.
Has the water ever been running that hot and during an IS bath?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
Okay. When did you use this Johnson's bath that you think
Well, we've been
caused
using this
the
for a
marks on her
minute.
legs? What do you mean by a minute?
During the baths, since we bought it. Actually, ever since we bought it.
When did you buy it?
Say about a week, 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been about a couple weeks ago we bought this stuff. And we started saying that. We like, well, maybe
When
we
did
should check questions.
when did the marks appear on her legs?
I forgot what day Sierra told me. I wasn't there when she said it came, when they came on her, so I can't remember that because she told me about it. And I got home that day and I came home and I seen it.
Okay, and when is this before or after Red Lobster?
Before. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was before.
There is no believable way to excuse Aniya's scalded skin. Blaming it on the body wash makes no sense. If they thought that was the case, why did they continue to use it? Why did they not contact a doctor to see what they needed to do? He can't satisfactorily answer any of these questions.
And what did the injury look like at first?
Was it before Red Lobster? I don't know. I didn't see it too well. I didn't really see it at all, to be honest with you. I seen it today and I seen it before, but I didn't pay too much attention to it because it was just like maybe it came from just the soap. But like before, it looked the same to me, honestly.
Have you ever seen marks like that on JCN?
No. He don't use Johnson Johnson either. No.
Okay.
He doesn't use Johnson Johnson.
So when do you think the marks first appeared on her legs?
When I first seen them, it was a few days ago. But we believe from Johnson Johnson, I think from everything, from us using the Johnson Johnson lotion and all that, the Johnson Johnson soap, that it came. I don't know when exactly, but it's just been like that I know for a fact for the last couple of days. Cause I looked at it today and I was like, my face was a little shocked. I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good at all.
Why would you have that reaction to the marks on her legs?
Because it didn't look good. It just didn't look good at all. You know, it just don't. If I seen the mark on my leg, I'm gonna have the same reaction.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen people with stuff in their hands, and I'm like, it doesn't look good.
Okay, so you're telling me that
We was worried about it.
who was worried about it?
Us. Well, we were worried about the eye and worried about that with the foot thing. But it was like one of those, you know, put some cocoa butter on it, let it heal up.
Okay. You said that doesn't look good. Were you concerned that the marks came from something other than the Johnson & Johnson?
No.
You never questioned Sierra that it could have come from something else?
No, nothing else. Nothing else.
Okay. Now it looks like, what does it look like to you now, the mark on Aniya's legs?
Healing, from what I see.
Healing? What would you describe it as? Other than healing, like
Red.
red? Okay. What does it look like to you?
Like somebody like she could have been peeling at, like Aniya could have been peeling at the scratches or something. She could have been peeling at it.
Okay. What did it look like? So now you're saying it looks like Aniya may have been peeling. It looks
That's
red.
what I'm consuming, but like I said, we know it had to come from Johnson Johnson, and then
And then what did it look like when you first saw it?
it's the same as it look now.
How many days ago was that?
Went a couple days ago from when I noticed it. A couple days ago.
What did Aniya say about the way it felt?
Nothing. She didn't say anything to me about how I felt.
She didn't say anything about it since you guys have all been in the apartment together Friday?
No, she didn't say anything to me.
Just because it looks like it would be painful. She didn't make a complaint, say my
she
legs
didn't.
hurt.
No, she did
Nothing?
not. No.
Aniya likely didn't complain. By this point, she was used to receiving such punishments.
When was the last time she complained about the legs hurting?
She never complained to me about anything.
She never complained to you? Did she complain to Sierra?
She did, yes. I'm
did.
guessing she did, yes. Do I know what Aniya said to Sierra? No. But I'm pretty sure she complained to Sierra. She wouldn't complain to me. You're not as smart to know I'm not her biological father, but
What do you think that she said
I couldn't tell
to
you that.
Sierra about the legs hurting?
I don't know. You know,
How do you know that she did complain to Sierra about her
I'm
legs?
just automatically assuming. I'm just really trying to assume here that she complained about it because of how it looks, but she never said anything about it hurting or anything.
Was it ever bandaged or anything? Did you do any first aid for it?
No, we talked about cocoa butter and cocoa butter
So you
for
just
us.
left
That,
it?
yeah, let it let it air out and heal up. Let it just air out, let it heal.
Who applied the cocoa butter?
Sierra.
Did you guys apply cocoa butter?
She told me she wanted to get some cocoa butter and use it. I told her okay, so if she did put it on, I wasn't around. You know what I mean? If she did put it on, I was not around at all to see her put it on her.
Okay.
We definitely did talk about the cocoa butter, but other than that, we talked about let it air out, let it just heal on its own naturally. When you use cocoa butter, we're gonna get some cocoa butter for her to use it.
Okay. So first you said Sierra applied
Use
the cocoa butter.
Right, I know that, right.
As far as could be determined, the wounds were left untreated.
But she did use it. I didn't see her use none. But we definitely talked about her using something.
You talked about her using
Yes.
it. Okay.
Like, you gotta
All
do
right.
something to
But you
cocoa
don't
butter.
know if any was actually applied to the child.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is very uncomfortable here, but
Yeah, I know.
this is very.
I can loosen
I'm not,
No, there's none.
the call that you said Sierra made to the 24-hour nurse.
Yes.
What day was that?
What was that? I'm thinking she called between last Friday.
Oh, last Friday?
Yes, just past
She didn't
Friday,
call?
2 days ago.
She didn't call Friday, this past Friday?
That's why I said last Friday. I'm Sunday, so I would say last Friday being 2 days.
They're very
Couple days
loose.
ago.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna lock them in place
No
so
problem.
they won't tighten up on you. They're very loose, so if they feel like they're uncomfortable, it's just because you need to reposition your wrist. Okay, it just means that you put your wrist in a position that's uncomfortable.
Okay, no problem.
I'm gonna loosen this one as well, so it's loose like the other one. Okay,
Thank you.
and I will lock it. Okay.
Okay.
See, I can fit several fingers in there.
Yes.
Okay,
sounds good.
so I know they're loose enough, and just
Thank you.
okay. Is that better?
Yes, ma'am. Other than that, guys, I really don't know right now. My main focus is, we're still here at Aniya's at the hospital. We feel for her safety.
Sure.
This is all too much, too new to both of us. We're great people. I mean, we really are. I was brought up in the church. She was brought up in the church. I was raised by my grandparents. Me no harm to, you know what I mean, to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Lewis desperately tries to convince the detective that he and Day are good people, which is a major red flag that he has something to hide.
And you don't, I mean, like, you don't have a criminal history of
no,
violence.
Nothing.
I do notice you have quite a few scars on your face. Did you get in a lot of fights as a kid or what?
I got picked on.
Did you get picked on?
I got picked on, yes. I got messed with when I was in high school because I was quiet. I stayed to myself.
Mm-hmm.
I got bullied when I was in school.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks, I realized I could fight. I wasn't the best fighter, but I realized I could stick up for myself. But I get judged by the scratches on my face.
You're judged by who?
Anybody and everybody who meets me.
What do they say?
This is automatically me just speaking out to you guys. People judge me. I don't know you guys, but you guys can judge me. You know what I mean? People judge people. I look like how I look right now with scratches on my face. If I explain to you where the scratches came from,
Yeah.
it didn't come from no gangs. I was not part of no type of gang.
I didn't think you were in a gang.
I know. But
The second you sat there and we started talking to you, I never thought that.
But I have scratches on my face. I got them throughout the years. I got this one right here.
Mm-hmm.
I had been 6, 7 years old.
Yeah.
I ran into the stove.
Okay.
Playing tag with my brother.
Okay.
I ran into the stove.
Okay.
This one, somebody tried to rob me for a car. Somebody tried to rob my car and threw a pole in the car.
And that's what the scar is that's next to your nose there that you're pointing to?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They tried to rob your car and you fought with them?
Got away.
You got away?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you get the injury?
They threw a pole in the car, in the glass.
Threw a pole in the car?
It was like a little, yes, they threw a pole.
And what hit you in the face?
The pole.
The pole hit you in the face? I didn't know
Yes.
broken glass or whatever.
I mean, it's where I work in that waste management, and yeah, it wasn't in broken glass.
When was that?
I'm 26 now. This I was like 22, no, 23 maybe.
Okay, so
I'm
it's
gonna say
just
20.
years.
I'm gonna say 22.
Okay. Alright.
My grandma always told me to put something on your face, but yeah.
About what?
Like, she always told me, like, put cocoa butter and put stuff on your face to let it heal up.
Oh, okay.
Might never listen.
Seems to have healed okay. And you have a scar on your eyebrow. What's that one from?
This one right here,
You're pointing to the one on your eyelid. How did you get that one on your eyelid?
Oh, well, I'm sorry. We gotta explain that one. What was the other one you was talking about?
The one, there's a scar right in the middle of your eyebrow.
I think that came from the same accident. I don't know where that came from. Is one on this side? I don't know. I know about the one right here. Got into a car accident.
Oh, okay. Okay. So are any of these scars on your face from fights, besides the one where somebody tried to rob you in your car?
Yes.
They are from fights?
This one. The two.
Yeah.
The
What
two.
happened there?
I fought my brother.
Your own Jason?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It was immature.
How old were you when that happened?
About 22 maybe? 20.
It was a rough year for you, huh?
Yeah, now mind you, I might have had the years mixed up between it both, but I could have been, you know what, I'm mistaken. I could have been like 19 or 20 when I got the two from my brother. Could have been like 19 or 20, I could have been 21 when I got
What were you
those.
guys fighting about that you went to physics?
It was petty. It was really petty of us.
What was it?
I was irritated. We had to help my auntie move, and I didn't feel like really helping my auntie move at the time. I couldn't tell my auntie I didn't feel like helping her move. I just had to just do it.
Okay. So that you guys were fighting about helping your auntie move?
No, we got to fight because I just. Yeah, we've been immature. He threw something at my face.
Okay.
But it was as soft as tissue.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of hit him. And he hit me back. And then I was trying to apologize. Well, I felt bad about it. I tried to apologize to my brother about it. And then he wasn't really trying to listen to me at that point.
Okay.
He was pretty pissed off and stuff.
So
our relationship been great ever since. When I say our relationship's been great, after that one last incident with me and my brother, our relationship, because we were brothers, we got into it when we were younger all the time. But after that last incident, me and my brother's relationship was perfectly fine, healthy, but sorry to get off subject here.
That's okay.
I'm trying to figure out what's about to happen right now.
Yeah. Well, so am I. I just still have some unanswered questions about how Aniya looks today.
I can tell she's not looking good,
Yeah.
you know, by how I can tell she's not looking good, but we try to keep feeding her. We try to make sure she has water, try to make sure she has, try to give her a little bit of juice and a little bit of pop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But we try to feed her,
And you're saying try, like you keep saying try.
We feed her.
She picky
her.
or what?
She's been picky for a couple of days, and I keep telling her a couple of days because we try to give her some breakfast sausages. She was eating breakfast sausages real slow, but she didn't do it just to be like, because she didn't want to eat it.
When was this?
We were getting breakfast sausages. Was this Friday? Trying to give her some breakfast sausages, and she was eating the breakfast sausages. But she's eating slow. And this is right there,
What time of day were you giving her the breakfast sausages?
This might have been like, I don't know, time like maybe like 2 in the afternoon, maybe like 2-ish. Gave her some water, like 2 in the afternoon, maybe a little bit later on than that.
How does she do with the water and the?
She'll drink the water. She's eating the food, feeding herself, eating the sausage. She just wanted to eat slow. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Sierra even told you about the breakfast sausages thing, but we try to give her, just the fact that she was just not being herself, eating her food, because Aniya can eat fast. Mm-hmm. And she knows how to eat too. And, yeah.
When's the last time she was at daycare routinely where she was getting her meals at the daycare?
Last time she was at daycare? Oh, no. I've been there with them. I've been watching Aniya sometimes. Sierra really just tried to feed her. Sierra was feeding her at the daycare when they was going there, like, last week when they was going to daycare?
You said you've been watching Aniya lately, so she hasn't been to the daycare lately?
Right. She went to daycare, but a couple times I would watch her. I stay at home and watch her, especially when I lost my job.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be okay, I'll stay here and watch her.
Okay.
Now, how am I with Aniya? I'm the same way. I believe in watching cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in watching cartoons and having a good time. I like to just, that's really it.
And when was the last time she was at daycare?
I know Sierra was at work a few days. I know Sierra was at work. Aniya went to daycare. The person would know this. we felt like she was acting up. We was like, we're not gonna send her daycare right now. Let her just be better. So she was at daycare. Was that?
Aniya had been pulled from daycare after the workers made repeated reports about her condition. Harbor Crest Child Care Academy, which Aniya attended, made internal incident reports of suspected abuse more than a dozen times, but only reported one to the police, according to the Euclid Police Department. In May 2017, owner Tamika Robinson called Euclid Police to report staff saw marks on the girl throughout the week and noticed Aniya was bleeding from her ear, according to an incident report. She was taken by ambulance to a hospital.
Maybe like a week ago, a couple weeks ago.
What was she doing to act up?
Nothing. She's being a kid. Just. Everything was fine with her until all this stuff started going on, and we just couldn't put it. We didn't understand why. As far as when she was at daycare, I really couldn't say. Jesus, do guys believe in heat?
You alright?
I'm a little cold, but I was in a cell. That's why I had to cover the guy. When the guy came and got me, I got to cover it. That was my first time I've been in a cell before.
Yeah.
First time I don't believe in jail.
You don't believe in jail?
No, sir. No, ma'am. I do not believe no.
Okay. So what was the reasoning behind rather keeping her home from daycare over Aniya having acted up?
Well, sometimes we even kept her home just because it was, let her, because she had other kids to worry about. I'll stay home and watch her at daycare. I'm sorry, she had other kids to worry about at daycare.
Oh, okay.
So she go to daycare with Sierra all the time. She always goes to daycare. There's a couple of times I say, hey, I'll stay home and watch her real quick. I'll stay home and watch her. Let her just not go to daycare. Just stay home and watch her. Daycare is not school. So, I'll be like, let's stay home. I'm not even asking her, let her stay home. But other than that, she always went with Sierra to daycare. They every day, every single day, I was with the daycare. As far as when it stopped and all that, I don't know.
Yeah. When's the last time you remember her going to daycare?
Didn't we go up there like last week for a minute? I don't know. I know you don't know, so it's all on me. Yeah. I should be comfortable here. He asked me a question about
when was the last time?
And I know like a week, but I know like they went like last week. Sometime they went last week.
I don't remember what day of the week it was.
No, they left to go to daycare. I was at the house.
Remember what you did?
Nah, watch basketball.
Watch basketball game?
No, I watch highlights. Highlights of basketball games. I'll be watching First Take. That's with Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. I watched them on ESPN.
So it wasn't a specific game that you could...
No, not that. It wasn't a specific game. That was the basketball. That was basketball highlights and analysis during the daytime when they talk about sports and stuff like that.
Trying to think who the Cavs played last week.
I do know. I do. Clippers. They lost. They won. I don't know.
So you told Sergeant Morawski that last week sometime?
If I'm not mistaken, yes.
Now, how many hours a week does Sierra work at the daycare?
Part-time.
How many hours a week does she work?
It could be like 30 hours.
How many hours does she work in a shift?
About 4 hours, 5 hours. Sometimes it's different. It switched up whenever our boss, some of her hours were 7. Sometimes it switched up because our boss wanted to switch up to try to save himself money and try to.
So for those 4 to 5 hour shifts that Sierra would work, how many hours would she have Aniya with her?
The whole time. Yes.
And when was the last time that Sierra took Aniya for the whole shift?
I said like last week sometime they went the entire day.
Okay. You told us that was last week.
Sometime, yes.
Okay. You said earlier when we were talking that you had kept Aniya home from daycare for a couple of weeks because she was
acting. I said a couple
times.
times. I'm talking about a couple times I did watch her. Now I'm not talking about last week. I'm talking about just previously before that. She stayed home with me before. Yes, she has stayed home with me as well.
Aniya was in his care, but that didn't mean that Lewis was anything more than a physical presence. During these times, it is suspected that Aniya went without food.
We're talking about specifically last week. I was just talking about in general where I watched Aniya just by choice. Like I told him before, it's only daycare, I watch her stay home with me for the day, just have some bonding time, let her get to know who I am as a person.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you were alone with her in the apartment for some of the shifts where Sierra's working?
Yeah, it was a couple times, yes.
A couple times?
Yes.
Okay. How many times recently?
Recently like none. When we stayed at Harbor Crest, I watched maybe like twice. Maybe like twice. And this was at Harbor Crest, not the new apartment. I watched it like twice. Is this somewhere I can see Sierra as well today? After this is done?
Yes. We're still working on stuff. Don't worry, we're making sure Sierra is safe. She is safe.
I know she's staying with you guys. I haven't seen her.
So you just told me that.
I watched it a couple times. Yes.
Okay. Okay. You told me you've been watching Aniya lately. Okay. She wasn't in daycare lately.
I'm sorry if I said lately. I mean, a couple times she didn't go to daycare.
It's typical with investigations like this to ask for anyone who we are holding or charging for a DNA specimen, and we do that by collecting your saliva. Is it something that you would consent to?
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to read this form to you, okay? And this would obviously be your name, so I'm going to go ahead and write it in there, okay? Deonte. I, Deonte Lewis, having been advised of my constitutional rights not to have a specimen of my blood or saliva, I'm going to circle saliva because that's the way that we would get the specimen, taken without a judicial order, and of the fact that I have a right to refuse to consent to providing a specimen of my saliva, do hereby authorize, and it would be myself, Detective Krozak, and my boss here, Sergeant Morowski, to obtain such specimens as they deem necessary for purposes of their investigation. This written permission is being given by me to the above-named officers voluntarily, without any promises or threats being made to me, and no pressure or coercion having been made against me. Do you understand what I've just read to you?
Basically, yes, you guys like to take a saliva, some of my sample of my DNA.
You got it, exactly. And you give us permission to do that?
Yes, I would ask why. I don't have no problem with it. I would ask the general question of why.
Okay.
All
right.
And
yeah.
I would ask why.
Okay. So.
I don't mind signing. I just would ask why.
Right. Okay. And I totally respect that. Okay. So the condition of Aniya.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What condition do you think she's in right now?
I pray and I know she's okay. That's why I'm praying. That's why I'm betting
We're concerned about the marking on her feet and the
Oh.
damage to her eye. We just want to make sure that that you aren't responsible for.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
all DNA and all that. No, I was no.
Yeah, that's what so that we can eliminate that. So we know what
Okay.
it is.
That's
Okay.
yeah. No problem.
Fair enough.
All right,
Do you have,
sign here.
do you have the stuff?
And then I'll say what time it is. 'Cause I want you to put the date and time as well.
You guys can see what's going on from saliva and her eye and her from saliva.
Well, we're not the forensic scientist. We just submit the samples to the lab. They
Helps us
process all the evidence.
piece things back together.
Right now,
11th, right?
it is 10:11 p.m. on March 11th.
Lewis appears confident that he has nothing to worry about by giving the DNA sample. If Day was the one responsible for Aniya's current injuries, they might not find anything to use against him.
I'm gonna go ahead and sign.
I have no problem with that at all
Print
because
and sign my name here. I'm gonna explain to you how I'm gonna take the sample so that once I start taking the sample, I stop talking because I don't want to mix my DNA up with yours and cause any problems for the test. Understand?
yes.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open these swabs, okay? And I'm just gonna swab the inside of your cheek. It's not
Okay.
painful. It shouldn't
No problem.
hurt. Okay. And I'm just gonna put them back in the envelope. That should be quick and painless. What are we, 1387, is that right?
Apparently, once this is done, we can all take a ride to the hospital and check and see how Aniya's doing.
Okay.
Is there something you guys think can happen?
Yeah. Once we're all done and we dot all our I's and cross the T's. Okay?
You didn't get a definite answer, sir. I'm pretty smart myself. You didn't get a definite answer on that. I understand, but you guys have a job to do. Whatever.
Process, you know.
Yes, sir.
Any questions before I start the test?
I know this is very serious and everything.
Before I take the swab, any questions?
Just more like a statement. I know this is very serious, and I pray that everything's okay, and when this is all said and done, I want us all to be able to go to the hospital and check on Aniya. So
Okay.
I really have nothing else to say.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the swabs then. Okay. The phone that you had on you when you came in here,
Yes.
is that your phone? Do you pay the bill for it?
Yes.
Someone does.
What kind of phone is it?
It is I'm with Metro PCS.
Okay.
Is that the phone that was used to call 911?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was the phone. Okay.
What's the telephone number assigned to that phone?
Yes, 216-337-5378.
And it's Metro PCS?
That's what I'm with. That's the carrier. Yes.
Okay. Now, most people have a lock pattern or a PIN. Do you have one as well on your
Yes,
phone?
I do.
Is it numbers?
Both. My fingerprint and numbers.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you that. You can't access that phone without me.
Okay. All right. Now, are you willing to provide us with the PIN for unlocking the phone? Is it a series of numbers?
It is numbers.
Okay.
I can unlock the phone for you guys.
Okay.
No,
So we have the phone, okay?
If you need me to do it to make sure everything's good.
Right. Well, no, we would need you to provide the PIN code. What kind of phone is it?
It's not an Android. I know it's not an iPhone.
It's not an iPhone, so
no, it's not an
it's
iPhone.
a cell phone. Do you know what brand it is?
No, I don't.
What color is it?
Black. Do I know what kind of phone it is? It sounds stupid. No,
But it's not an iPhone.
no, not an iPhone. Though. Who needs iPhones nowadays?
Okay. So are you willing to write down the PIN that you used to unlock the phone?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to write that down.
Consent form to do that is.
Well, you're not signing consent
now
yet.
I'm going to my pictures. You know what I mean?
Right. So we would only be looking for evidence related to the investigation that we're dealing with here. Okay. Now, if you have pictures of like kitty porn or something on there, that could be a problem. Do you have pictures like that on there?
No, not kitty type porn. No, not at all. Just.
Okay. All right. So you're not worried about us finding anything?
No, I wouldn't mind going through the pictures with you guys, but I would be there when you guys go through the pictures.
Okay. All right.
There were no incriminating pictures on Lewis's phone or computer.
So in order to look in your phone, we would need the PIN code. Are you willing to write it down for us? You're not signing that you're giving us consent to search the phone yet. We'll get to that. Is there a significance to the number that you wrote down?
In that order.
Oh, right. But I mean, is there a significance? Like, are those birthdays or anything like that?
No.
So it's just 1409?
Mm-hmm.
Was that like an old address or anything?
My parents' home phone number backwards.
Oh, okay.
The last four numbers of my parents' home phone backwards.
So there's a
Okay.
reason. So it's,
Do they so you can remember it? Because otherwise we'll forget. Is there do they still have the house phone, your parents?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh, you know what? I can't say they do. They have this. Do they still have that number? Yes, they do. But everyone uses cell phones nowadays.
Okay.
You know, house phones are kind of becoming obsolete.
I haven't had a house phone in 6 years.
We had a house phone, but if you went to my parents' house right now, you wouldn't find one. But we still have that same number.
Old timers love it.
Yeah,
They don't like change.
they don't. I had the same number forever. I had the same cell phone number since I first got a phone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna read this form with you, and then you can tell us whether or not you're giving us consent to search the phone. Okay.
I just want to be there when you guys go through the pictures.
Okay. That's not how it's gonna work.
Okay.
So if you are not wanting us to look at the phone without you there, we would have to go forward with a search warrant and go beyond your consent.
Okay.
Are you not willing to sign consent?
I don't mind signing.
Okay, well, let me read this form to you before you sign, okay? Because I don't want you to say later that you didn't understand it, okay?
No problem.
So this is our voluntary consent to search, meaning you voluntarily give us consent, okay? And it reads like this. I, Deonte Lewis, having been advised of my right not to consent to a search of my cellular phone without a warrant, and of my right to refuse to consent to such a search, do hereby authorize Euclid Police, detectives, agents, investigators, and or any assisting agency or agent in the duties of conducting a search of my property, namely your cell phone, which is black and not an iPhone, of which the assigned phone number is 216-337-5378, carrier of Metro PCS, the PIN unlock pattern of 1409. The investigation is into child endangering, and we're looking to obtain any evidence of child endangering.
Yes.
The aforementioned officers' agents are authorized to seize digital data, evidence, information, files from the cellular phones and or storage devices that they deem necessary. I understand that the data recovered during this search is subject to your use during court proceedings. Do you understand what I've read?
Yes, I do.
So are you willing to consent to us searching the phone?
Yes.
And you understand we won't allow you to be there while we look through the evidence on the phone? Do you understand that?
You being a woman, I will consent for you to look through the phone.
Okay.
Not no males. I'm sorry. I can't do that.
And why is that?
Because my woman's in my phone.
Oh, like
Yes,
nudes of...
my woman's.
Okay,
in my phone.
all right. I understand that. Okay.
That's the
fair.
only thing I was thinking about.
I understand. All right. So you'll sign here and then put the date and time that you're giving consent down below. You can stand if you need to.
Thank you.
Sure.
And I don't like to speak generally like that in public, so sorry.
I understand.
About that.
It's okay. It's still the 11th. It's now 10:20 p.m. I'm going to sign as your witness. I need to use the restroom real quick. Can I get you something?
Can you take me to the restroom?
Well,
and I'll just take something.
Yeah, I can't take you to the restroom.
No, I'm not saying I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah, I can take you to the restroom.
Okay, and then okay.
I just have something to drink, whether there's some water or anything.
Should I use them back here, or should I take them? Just right out here.
I mean, if you're there, I guess it's fine. Is there anything in there that's a problem?
I don't think so.
If I need to take the walk, guys, I'll take that walk back wherever you need to take me to.
I mean, we could take them back to the jail, use that one, but that's a lengthy process.
I can take them to the one up front.
Okay, whatever you
I
want
don't
to do.
really.
You can be right there, so I'm just.
Yeah, I got you. And we'll
I'm
move
sorry.
onto the hallway.
All right. I just need to. Hey, when we come back in here, do you want me to bring you something to drink?
Anything be fine.
We have cappuccino, water, coffee.
I'll take a water.
Just a water?
Yes. If I have anything, can Sierra come in here with us?
We'll talk about why that's not something that we usually do. It wouldn't be.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Do I stand up, guys?
Yep.
This way.
Get you your restroom break.
You give him that radio, Jim.
You need it?
Yeah.
Here you go. Sure. Can I chat with you for a second? Can I bring him right back for you?
Yeah,
No problem.
You know, the bathroom anyways.
Okay.
You know, I can't go in front of people, so I.
Oh, well.
Okay.
I got some news, Phil. While I was out of the room. Oh, I don't know which one's yours.
Deonte?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Deonte. We just got some news.
Yes, sir.
We got some news. Was it? Aniya? Aniya?
Mm-hmm.
Aniya didn't make it.
Huh?
Aniya didn't make it. Okay. That's why we're going through all this. That's why we're asking you all these questions. We want to get to the truth and we want to find out for that little baby what happened. Okay? So, if you're in religion and you believe in all this and you're the great guy that you've been telling me you are, tell me what happened to this young baby.
Nothing.
Okay? No. Something happened to her.
Yes.
Okay, she's emaciated. She looks like she hasn't eaten for a while.
She's
got bruises that you can't really explain. Okay, she's got a black eye. You need to explain to this
Yes, the black
and
eye.
tell me what happened.
Yes, we know she fell off the toilet to the tub for the black eye. Yes, that's what happened with that. The bruise on her leg, we believe it came from the baby Johnson soap.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, kids don't die from that.
I know that, but that's as far as I can explain it.
Kids don't die from that. Okay? You want to get this off your chest? You want to clear yourself? You're a young man. You're 25 years old. Do you want to tell me what happened?
Yes.
Are you going to protect this girl that you've known for 6 months? Are you going to risk your entire life for this girl that you've known 6 months, your first girlfriend?
Because everything is accurate. Everything is right.
Everything's not accurate. A young 4-year-old doesn't die from that. Okay?
Can we at least see how or what the cause of that was? Because it's not from nothing that I've done, nothing she's done, because we haven't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about protecting her. It's about the truth.
I think it is about protecting her.
It's about the truth, sir.
I think it is about protecting her. Okay? Because every time we've mentioned anything about Aniya or Sierra, you always mention Sierra first. You always want to know how Sierra is.
Because we're in here together. We felt she was.
And you want to be in the same room with Sierra.
We wanted to make sure she was cool. I wanted to make sure everything was fine.
Are you telling me right now you want to risk the rest of your life? By not telling me what happened?
I'm telling you.
This is the absolute truth. This is exactly what she's going to tell us.
Yes. Nobody harmed this little child. This God given no one dead. No one harmed her. No one, not I, not Sierra. I'm sorry for yelling. No one harmed this little child. No one. We been there to take care of her. Been there, always took care of her. No one's done anything to harm her. When you check the forensics or when you check the DNA and all that stuff, no one's done anything to harm this little girl. There's no type of anything in her system. Nothing. It's not about me protecting her. It's about what's right, and I know what's right. If I'm telling you the truth, I see her as a man, as a black man, to tell you the truth about what happened. That's it.
Get it off your chest. Tell me the truth.
I'm telling you the truth. That's exactly what happened. How?
Okay, so you're telling me that night
I don't know. I don't know.
You're telling me this afternoon at 2:00 you gave her a bath, and she was breathing. She was alive. She was a little lethargic, but she was alive and everything like that at 2:00 this afternoon.
Yeah, it's probably.
It doesn't appear that way, man.
She wasn't dead.
It doesn't appear that way.
She was responsible. She was not.
Tell me.
I'm telling you, she was not dead. Nothing. Neither. I'm sorry for my hand. I'm sorry for my hand movement.
Don't apologize.
I'm sorry.
Let yourself talk.
Just tell me the truth.
Tell you guys the truth.
Lewis refuses to accept any kind of responsibility for Aniya's condition. Even if he never laid a finger on her, he was present and didn't do anything to stop Day or turn her in.
I done nothing wrong. Sierra's done nothing wrong. I know she's going through it right now.
Mm-hmm.
No one hurt her. No one tried to do anything. If that's what you guys trying to get to see, did we try to harm her? Neither one of us. Neither one of us. Neither one of us. Both brought up in Christian. It's not about us being brought up in Christian's home. Neither one of us tried to hurt this little girl. She was smart. Talking about night. She was smart. She was gifted. No one. You, like I said, you guys go to the hospital and check everything. There's no signs of anything because no one tried to harm this little girl for her to fucking pass away. I'm not about me protecting nobody. This is the truth. The truth is me telling the truth that no one harmed her. No one did anything to her. Tried feeding her, fed her, bathed her. Seriously, bathed this little girl, fed her, was in the house with her, watched cartoons with her. I wouldn't try to do anything on her life because I don't believe in that. Sierra wouldn't try to do anything.
I don't think you. I don't think you.
I'm sorry for my hand movements. I apologize, guys.
would.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my hand movements. I'm sorry for my hand movements, guys.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
You're not protecting anybody.
No. I'm not protecting anybody. I would look at you dead in your eyes, sir. I'm not protecting anybody. I'm telling you exactly what happened. How and what the cause of her death is, I do not know because Sierra didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
Okay. Explain this to me. So you called 911, right?
Yes.
You called.
Yes, she was right the next thing when I called.
Okay. And then just before that, she was breathing.
Yes, her eyes was open. I'm looking at her like, okay, she had
Where was this at in the apartment?
In the bedroom.
Was she on the floor?
No, she's on the bed, laying on the bed.
She was laying on the bed? What
Yeah.
was she wearing?
What was she wearing?
Mm-hmm.
Her pull-up.
And she have any of this? She just wearing her pull-up?
Mm-hmm.
That's all she had on?
Yes, and I put the cover over her.
Okay.
That was it. That was it. Told her, good morning, hey, you want some nuggets and french fries? You bought some nuggets and french fries? Got some nuggets and french fries for her?
Mm-hmm.
Store-bought food, store-bought frozen food.
This is really serious.
I know that. No.
Be honest with me.
And I'm being
This is a
honest.
decision that's going to affect the rest of your life.
I know that.
Okay.
I did not harm
I'm not saying that you
my
harmed
daughter.
her. Okay.
And she did not either. She didn't harm her. I didn't harm her. Nothing like that happened. I put that in my right hand to God's witness. Nothing happened to this little girl for this to happen. Nothing.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't. She wouldn't. It's just not in me. It's not in me. And I would speak for her right now because I'm talking to you guys. She's not here. It's not in us. Why do all that? No.
In the past, when Children's Services has come out about complaints about injuries to Aniya, what have you discussed with the workers that have come to the apartment?
I wasn't there. I wasn't
Did they
there.
ever make contact with you?
No.
What did Sierra tell you about what happened during those interviews between the case
Everything was fine. Everything was fine.
Well, I'm asking you what Sierra told you about what her and the caseworkers discussed about those past complaints
No bruises or anything was on her. Everything was fine when Sierra talked to anybody or whatever, or doctors, whoever it was. Everything was perfectly fine. Everything was perfectly fine.
Did you ever have a conversation with any worker from Children and Family Services?
I never had a conversation with nobody.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
No worker ever contacted you about complaints about abuse against Aniya? Because if they did, I'll have a record of it, and I want to give you the opportunity to tell me what that conversation was like now before I get the records, and I don't want it to show that you weren't truthful with me here now.
No, I didn't have a conversation with
Never.
No, I had a conversation with Sierra.
And what did Sierra say?
Just make sure she wanted to make sure she always wanted to make sure it was good. Her job for 4 to 5 years was to make sure she was good. Was to make sure everything was fine. That was it. I know you're looking at me like that, sir, and I understand that, sir. Sir, I'm telling you right now, sir.
This baby was emaciated, man. Any human being would look at this little child and say, you know what, she needs to eat.
I know.
I don't know how you could not see that.
I know that, but that's the point. I know that, sir.
You know what?
That a child needs to eat.
Mm-hmm.
That our daughter needs to eat.
Mm-hmm.
I see that. I know that.
There's a difference between knowing a child needs to eat
and feeding a child.
And feeding a child.
Yes. Fed her. They never missed a meal. Never went a day without feeding her.
You never went a day without feeding her.
No. Except if she didn't want to eat yesterday. She didn't want to eat at all.
It doesn't happen in a day. It doesn't happen in 3 days.
Lewis is wasting no time distancing himself from the situation. He claims ignorance about the child service investigations and says that he fed Aniya each day. He might have had better luck if he hadn't lived in the same home, but there was no way he could live in such close quarters and not be aware of what was going on, given how visibly Aniya was suffering.
What this young girl looks like does not happen in 3 days.
Okay, I'm going to show you a picture, okay? These pictures are from the hospital of Aniya, okay? Now, you know what a normal 4-year-old should look like because of JCN, right? Who's this?
Aniya.
Okay. What's different about the way Aniya looks than the way JCN looks?
She's taller than JCN. That's it. That's what I see.
So, are you trying to tell me that JCN that his bones stick out this far and that he has this little fat on him?
Jason would be a little bit bigger than Aniya, like I told you earlier.
Okay,
yes.
I don't think you're being truthful with me.
No, and Jason.
If JCN looks like this, JCN is also seriously ill and in danger of death. Is that what's going on with JCN?
No.
Okay. So, will you admit to me that what I'm seeing...
Oh my God.
Okay, do you see the concerns I have?
Yes, I do. No one put a bruise on her eye. No one put a bruise on her leg.
Okay, I'm not even talking about the injuries.
Skinniness, yes, we seen that she was losing weight.
Okay,
yes,
this is not just skinniness. Okay, some children are naturally thin. This child is emaciated to where their bones are showing. There's no fat. All the ribs are showing. There's no. I mean, it looks like a skeleton. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, when did you start seeing it? When did you start seeing her body start looking like this?
I paid attention to it. Like I said, it could have been like last week. Last week.
Okay, this doesn't take a week. This takes a long time for a child to look this emaciated.
Like this, no. I looked at her last week. She had a stomach on her. I looked at her like last week, before last week, and last week. I looked at her, she had a stomach. She had a stomach on her.
Okay, well, having a stomach is one thing. How did her bone? Look at how her bones in her shoulders, her elbows, her knees are totally showing. The whole outline of the bone is showing. There's barely any tissue on top of it. There's absolutely no fat tissue. When did that start appearing that way on the legs and arms and shoulders?
I didn't pay too much attention. I did not know. I understand how this could look, but no one harmed this little girl. I would tell you.
Okay, well, nobody. Somebody harmed her by not feeding her, at least.
We did. She couldn't. She was spitting stuff up.
Well, this is a period of being deprived of food and water for a long time, not just a couple days. Okay.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm getting hyper, and I apologize for that.
Okay, you're fine.
I'm
you don't have to
sorry.
apologize. This is upsetting. I understand.
But did we go days without feeding her and giving her water and stuff like that? No, we never went days without doing that. We never went a day without it. We never went a day without giving her food, water, giving her pop.
What would a normal meal?
If she didn't want to eat it. She didn't want to eat. She might not chose not to eat something and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And what would a normal meal consist of for her?
It could be some what's that called? Pizza rolls. Pizza rolls.
How many pizza rolls would
20.
she eat? She would eat 20 pizza rolls?
20, 40, yes. One time I gave her 20 in the box. Gave her 2 boxes. Before, I'm talking about a normal meal. We'll eat
You're trying to tell me that Aniya ate 2 boxes for 40 pizza rolls in one sitting?
Yes. Yes, she did. I almost went because she almost didn't eat. She almost wouldn't eat.
Okay, that makes absolutely no sense.
What do you mean about
when did that happen? When did this child who looks like this, when did she consume 40 pizza rolls in one sitting?
We went to the grocery store last week. Was that last week or before last week? Bought some pizza rolls. They were $1, so before last week. 8 pizza rolls, literally sit down there and eat them.
In his panic, Lewis makes a ridiculous claim that Aniya recently ate 40 pizza bites by herself, even though he had been claiming she had a poor appetite throughout the rest of the interview.
Give her cereal in the morning. Give her water.
Okay.
She's passed away.
Okay. Do you see this photo?
Of her butt, yes, we did not understand why the butt looked like that. Yes.
Okay. What is this here?
I don't know.
That's her bone. Okay, that's her hip bone. That's her pelvis. Okay, that should have fatty tissue on it. It should be round, and it's poking out just like a skeleton. Do you know what this is here?
I thought it was just the knee.
That is the knee, but there's absolutely no fat, so you've got no thigh. You've got the knee being bigger than the thigh there. Is that normal? Is it normal to have a knee protrude farther than the thigh? You see how skinny the thigh is here?
Yes.
Okay.
But no, it look like normal. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's not normal.
That's how her butt looks too.
Well, it shouldn't look like this.
Yes.
When did it start looking like this?
From what I can see today, I looked at it yesterday.
This doesn't happen
overnight.
It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't even happen in weeks.
Yeah, but I told you, when I watched her, I'm not looking at her.
Okay, but you told me that you didn't do the private area, and I don't blame you for that. You're the man, you're the dad, the mom took care of that. But you did tell me that you washed her back, her arms, her legs. When did you notice her legs starting to look like this?
So it had been a couple weeks, like a week ago, a week and a half ago when I smiled. But it wasn't noticeable where I looked, and it wasn't like I didn't seem concerned because we looked at
2 days ago when you helped with the bath, did the legs look like this?
Yeah, I'll say yes.
Yeah.
It didn't.
And you didn't understand at that time that was not usual?
Yes.
You did?
I know. I did not understand. I did not understand. Oh.
But you said that you spend all kind of time with JCN. You know what a normal 4-year-old's supposed to look like.
My children, whenever I see him a couple times, yes.
Yeah, you said a couple times a week. Yeah. Yeah. So
especially recently, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what am I seeing here? What is this?
She had a black eye with a bruise on it. No one hit her.
Okay.
No one physically hit her.
What's this right here?
That almost came when she bumped her head.
Okay, so what am I looking at right here? I'm pointing to an area here's the injury, here's the black eye. I see that, obviously. The entire eyelid is completely
that right there
dark.
came from when she hit her.
Under the eyelid's bruised as well. What is this part of the wound that I'm pointing to?
The eyelid, not the eyelid,
We talked about earlier how I asked you how much it bled, because we've got open skin there showing, right?
Mm-hmm.
How much blood was there when that opened up?
A lot. When I seen it was not a lot of blood. Not a lot of blood at all. It wasn't a lot of blood at all.
How long after you heard the boom did you go in and see her?
Right afterwards.
Okay. All right. And
She went in and went right behind her.
Looks like she's missing a tooth.
Have nothing to do. No, nothing about the tooth missing. No, nothing about the tooth missing.
When did the tooth first show up missing?
I do not know that. I do not know. I even noticed the tooth thing today. I noticed that tooth thing today. I do not know. I did not notice when or how long the tooth been gone. But she's 4, so the tooth gone. I just think another one's going into place.
Okay, but there was no talk at home about the momentous first tooth loss, or like kids usually are really looking forward to that.
No.
When did you first notice the tooth was missing?
Honestly, today. When I noticed it today.
Honestly, today?
It was today. It might have, if it was there for a minute, if it was there before then, I noticed it today. I noticed the tooth was gone today. Today.
When was the last time that you know that she had that tooth in her mouth?
I didn't pay too much attention to it, to be honest with you. Like, last few days, I didn't pay too much attention to it. I never really paid too much attention to the tooth. Even being missing. Nobody, what you guys think about, nobody hit this child. No one physically put her in danger. No one physically or mentally tried to not feed her. We fed her. Nobody did not do we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't put a bruise on her eye. We didn't put a bruise on her foot, on her leg. We didn't put no bruises on her. Okay. We didn't take a tooth out of her mouth. I know how serious it is as a child, but no one did that. No one.
Have you had conversations with Jason about Aniya?
No.
How about your mom?
No.
Deborah?
No.
Paulette? They've never
talked
to you about Aniya's well-being?
No, that's how she's doing. I said she's good.
What about last Thursday when your family saw her at Red Lobster?
Everything was fine.
Did your family ask about how she's doing?
Yes.
What'd they say?
Like, hey, how she's doing? She's good. In there sitting down there chilling, eating.
Did they ask any questions about why she appeared so thin last week?
No. I didn't pay attention to it.
Do you think that they did ask you and you ignored them? What are you trying to say?
They always ask how she's doing. Well, she's good. Tell her I said, hey, no problem. That was it.
Okay, but she was there.
Right, and she had on pants. Right, huh?
You said tell her, you say, hey, that's...
I'm talking about whenever they call. I'm talking whenever they call.
Do you think they asked you how she was doing out of concern because she looks so skinny?
I had on pants, I had on fully clothed. So.
But you can still see it in her face. I mean, you can see skinny. Right?
This child. I didn't think nothing of that because everything was normal.
You didn't think nothing of what?
Of that. We talking about her face looking like that because it looked normal when I looked at her. It looked normal. It looked normal to me.
I wasn't asking anything about her face. I was asking if your family expressed concern about the way she looked last week.
Right, I'm looking at her face in the picture. That's why I looked up to get her face in the picture. No one asked a question like that. They were like, oh, hey, how's she doing? Good?
Oh, you don't think that her face looks thin?
Aniya's face was gaunt, with sunken eyes that had deep bags beneath them.
Your face, looking at that, just thought was just, lose a little bit of weight.
Kids shouldn't lose weight unless they're seriously ill. I mean, there should not be any other reason why a child would be losing weight. Especially not a child who's this thin. If a child was obese and started exercising and eating more healthy, but that is obviously not the case here. Aniya is very small. She didn't need to, so she needed to continue to gain weight to grow.
It's always been about stuffing her. To wear stuff, we always try to stuff her, give her more foods. We always believe in stuffing her, let her get fat.
Okay, so if you're saying this child ate 40 pizza rolls last week and looked like this when they were done, you can't. You have to be sitting here and thinking,
no,
I hope this lady believes me. When you know I don't believe you.
Right.
Yeah, because this child does not show having eaten a meal like that.
When I say we fed this girl, feeds her, yes.
Okay, then
we didn't understand why. We didn't understand. We didn't understand.
Then there should be, if she's eating 40 pizza rolls and she looks like this, like a skeleton, like just skin on.
That would be one time we gave her the 40 pizza rolls. Before then, we give her like 20. Give her some cereal in the morning.
Okay, 40, 20 pizza rolls. Either way, those meals are huge, and this child does not
look like she eat it. Right.
Did not. Yeah. So
I know.
I know. So if you're saying the kid ate that much, she should have been under the serious supervision of a physician because
she's getting fat.
Right. She should be obese. She should be morbidly obese if she eats 40 pizza rolls at a time.
Yes.
She's definitely skinny here. I mean, this is completely emaciated and dehydrated.
I have another concern, Deonte, by looking at this picture.
Yes,
you
sir.
said that you believe that these marks, these bruises, and these burns are caused by what?
I just had some baby Johnson because it was nothing else, no type of nothing gonna cause that.
Bathed her in a bathtub, right?
Yes.
How would you wash her with like a washcloth, a loofah, her whole body?
Correct. Yeah.
Right. So why would it just be this one specific area if it was Johnson and Johnson?
That I understand that too, but
That
I do
makes
not know.
no sense, man.
I know that, but that's what when we seen it. We like this gotta be based off this stuff because we do not know.
Man.
Okay, look, can't you see right now?
Yes, absolutely. Tell me the truth.
How did this come
Looks like
about?
burns.
No,
Looks like burns.
From where? From where?
I don't know. That's why I want you to tell me.
No.
She'd tell me if she could.
Yes. No one burned her legs. I'm not like that. No one burned her legs. No one. Nobody
Well,
burned
somebody
her
burned
legs.
your legs. You're not telling us who, but someone did. Okay.
Sarah,
Do you understand what you're
How soon?
facing here? Do you understand? For someone that has no criminal history or real involvement with, besides the history that you have of being involved with Sierra and the Euclid police lately, I don't see anything else on your record.
You seem like a real great guy, man.
Yeah.
You seem like a hard worker. You seem like you're focused. You go to church, religion, right? You had a rough childhood. You admitted you had a rough childhood.
yeah, my grandparents.
You came through it. You came through it.
I believe my grandparents took good care of me. Yes.
And you're in a spot right now where you need to come through this.
Yes.
Right? We need to explain that away.
No one did that to her legs.
Somebody did that to her legs.
But how I can look at you in your face all day for 20 years and tell you I don't even know how that could have happened.
Right, but that's not telling us the truth. So we don't want you to look in our faces and tell us that what we're seeing is
We didn't
okay.
even know where it came from. We did not know where these bruises came from. We did not know.
They were never discussed. They were never discussed to the 24-hour nurse on Friday or Saturday. They just popped up in one day.
Sierra discussed it. I didn't know nothing about it.
You didn't know anything about that. Those are pretty serious marks.
Yes, but
If you're gonna call a nurse about her not feeling well and being lethargic, you don't think you ask them about those? You don't think that you would even question that medically?
Lewis has put himself between a rock and a hard place. Either he is lying and trying to hide what happened, or he saw how badly Aniya was doing and neglected to get her help. He knows either choice only puts him in a bad light, and his chances of leaving the jail a free man have dwindled to nothing.
The story doesn't make sense.
I know that, but this is the truth. I don't know how it came on her legs. I do not know. I'm sorry,
Okay.
you guys don't believe me.
Even if we're not saying we don't believe that you don't know where they came from, but we know that these marks came from someone, okay? So even if we want to totally disregard the fact that she has burns on her legs, okay, she's passed away. That's the bigger question here. So you trying to hide from us what the truth is about the
I'm trying to hide the
burns?
truth. The burns, her not wanting to eat. Like we'd feed her, she was fitting stuff up, throwing stuff back up.
Are you willing to face the most serious criminal charge in defense of Sierra and in continuing to try to convince us that the story we know isn't true?
No.
Are you willing to do that?
I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to tell you guys everything that I know like I've been doing.
Do you understand what you can be charged with? Do you know what you can be charged with? Tell me what you think I can charge you with.
Was it child endangerment? Because I didn't know. My fingerprints not on her except when I picked her up and held her today.
Okay. Well, you guys said you bathed her, right?
Right.
Yeah. Right before you.
Right, but my hands didn't touch this. No hands touched that. No hands touched her face. No hands touched her eye.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. No hands touched that. Mine's or hers. Mine's or hers. Not that I'm trying to protect anybody. No one touched that. No one did it to that little girl.
When you asked Sierra about what these this is.
We thought it looked weird. We like.
I'm not talking about the burn anymore. I'm talking about the condition of the child overall. Did you ever ask Sierra to take her to the doctor based on the way she appears so skeletal, so dangerously thin?
We said we need to feed her. Yes, we need to feed her more. We was doing that. We need to go ahead and keep feeding her more.
And when did you start feeding her more?
Every day.
Every day since when?
Like every single day we've been together. Like, you're trying to feed her.
Every day. You've been together since when?
I'm talking about like every single day. Like literally.
Since when?
Since we've been talking. Since we've been together. You know what I mean?
Since
Always
you
been
and-
about Sierra been talking. Yes, we always
Tell me
been
you've
about-
been with her since June of 2017.
Yes.
So this is not a child who's eaten, right, every day since June of 2017. And if you saw a child eating well every day,
You know
continuing to look like this, you would be rushing them to the emergency room because there'd be a serious, serious underlying health issue. This child needed to be brought into the ER a long time ago. This is a deadly look.
And I didn't even realize that it was a deadly look.
But I think you realize that because you see JCN is healthy, right? How much do you think she weighs?
Like 110, maybe?
Who?
Aniya?
You think Aniya weighs how much?
I would say 110. That's too much. That's too big. 75 pounds, maybe 80 pounds.
And when's the last time you picked her up?
Today. How did I pick her up? I mean,
Okay. I don't believe that you can really think that she weighs that
110
much.
pounds, no, maybe
Okay,
80
no.
pounds. I think it's based on her height too.
No, she probably weighs about 20 pounds. Okay, and I would just think that you would know the difference between how much she weighs when you pick her up and how much JCN weighs and what a disparity there is between two 4-year-olds. So I don't know when you started telling yourself this lie about she's okay. Based upon
okay, we're gonna feed her. Her stomach looks like it's getting skinny. Let's feed her. You know, that's all we talked about. We're gonna keep
Okay, when
feeding
did
her.
that start?
The stomach? Yeah, it's talking about us feeding her.
Yeah.
We talk about it every day.
Did she eat today? Did she eat today?
No, not today. Because when we called, she wasn't trying to eat nothing today. No, she did not eat today.
What did you
at
guys
all.
eat? What did you guys eat today?
We ate some leftover Chipotle or whatever. Ate some leftover Chipotle.
Okay.
And we barely finished that because we went into her, trying to get her up, trying to get her moving, everybody eat some food, let's, watch cartoons. She didn't want to eat nothing. I know how serious this is. No. She didn't want to eat anything.
Okay. There's just a whole lot that you're not telling us.
Yes, that Aniya looks like this because not like we wasn't feeding her, but we were feeding her. We wanted her to eat. She kept throwing things up. She didn't want to eat. Sometimes we try to feed her.
This is not somebody who's been throwing up for a couple days.
And somebody who like that been eating. Oh, she's been eating.
Somebody who has not been fed for a long period of time.
How would we do that? You don't look at me and say, you don't look at me in my face and tell me,
I don't
y'all
know.
honestly believe, y'all don't know.
You want to have a child with Sierra?
The detectives aren't buying Lewis's story. Aniya's emaciated condition is something that only happens over a long period of time and has a very different appearance than a sudden onset of illness that might cause someone to lose a few pounds.
Yes.
You want to have a child with Sierra?
Yes. She's a great mom. And I understand how much you have, like, you doing all this for her, you've been with 8 months. No one did not feed her. You know what I'm saying? We didn't sit in there. We didn't sit in the house and look at her and say we're not going to feed her no food. We fed her food.
Okay.
We didn't sit there and look and we didn't just walk past the room. She had her own room. We didn't just walk past the room and look at her and walk away. We took care of her. We made sure she could eat. We made sure she was going to be perfectly fine. We made sure of that. No one just walked past.
None of that. This right here, this child's passing and the condition she's in right now.
She has to be eating.
It's none of it matches up with what you're saying. Okay, and
Like
you can continue to try to convince us, but the fact is, and the evidence shows that what you're saying is not true.
She has not been.
Do you believe what you're telling us?
Yes, that she's been eating. She has been eating. She stopped wanting to eat.
When did she stop wanting to eat?
In the last few days, she stopped wanting to eat. Now, before then, she would be kind of picky about how she eat. You know what I mean? She would be picky about it. But she would still eat. You know what I mean? She would still eat food. She would still eat.
Okay. Do you and Sierra have plans on getting married?
We have plans on all three of us.
Have you talked to Sierra about asking her to marry you?
Yes.
What has she said?
Yes.
She would?
Got her whole engagement ring at the house.
You have an engagement ring at the house?
Yes.
When are you planning on asking her the question?
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. I want to marry this woman, but that's not even my concern. I don't even want to talk about that at this moment. This child is gone now. Us wanting to get married is. I'm not even thinking about that as of right now. I'm not thinking about that because that's not what's important.
Okay. Well, don't you think that you and Sierra were gonna need each other? I mean, so you don't want to marry her now that?
No, I do want to still marry her, but this is a conversation that I do want to marry her. Yes.
You still want to marry her?
But yes, but what's going on now and why I'm still in these handcuffs and we're still here is based upon Aniya right now, and I know that. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to convince you guys of anything, but the stuff that I know. Okay. So, don't marry her, yes. And Naya's... I don't even care about that right now.
You don't care about what?
Talking about marriage. I don't care about us talking about marriage. I'm not no disrespect to you guys. I do not mean that in no type of disrespectful way. I wouldn't say that. But I'm not even thinking about that. That's the last question I will answer. I want to talk about this with her. I want to talk about what can we all do now.
You want to talk about this with who?
I don't even want to talk about the marriage. I don't want us to talk about that because that's like the last thing on my mind. And I was trying to say I don't mean to disrespect.
Sure.
I just don't.
I just want to know.
It's like you want to talk about marriage, but then we're talking about death of a child. I don't care about marriage right now.
Okay.
I don't
You plan on staying with Sierra though? Do you plan on staying with Sierra?
Do this, yes.
Through this? Okay.
Even if this didn't happen, do I plan on being with her? Yes. No one meant for no harm to happen to nobody. No harm was supposed to come to that child. And I mean by no harm was nobody's harming her. Nobody will harm her.
Okay.
Nobody would do that. I have a nephew, I have nieces, I have family like everybody else has. I don't think about stuff like this.
How old are your nieces?
I'm sorry if I said I had a niece. She's my cousin, but it's my cousin's daughter. So it's technically my cousin, but it's like a niece.
How old is she?
How old is Demetrius?
Her name is Demetrius.
Demetrius.
Spell it. You don't have to spell it if you
Just
got
put
it.
Mimi, M-E-M-E. She is older. She's like 8, maybe.
Okay.
Like 8.
That's fine.
She's got a birthday.
I was just asking approximately. But I see that we're not getting anywhere in some of the questions that we're trying to ask you.
Nobody.
Here, man.
And I hate
We're given the
to.
opportunity here, man. You've known this girl for 6 months, right? She's been part of your life for 6 months.
Yes, and
Okay.
did she harm her child? No. Did I harm her child? No. Did we be fitting her child, my stepdaughter? Yes. Giving her liquids and things to drink? Yes. Was she spitting up and stuff like that? Yes. Was Aniya refusing sometimes if she didn't eat no food? Not eat no food? Yes, she did. Sometimes, try to give her some food. Sometimes she might not want to eat at that moment in time. So, okay, we'll wait, come back, you'll eat later. Not waiting hours later, just let you don't want to eat nothing. Like any kid do, you don't eat nothing right now? Okay, well, I'm not going to force you to eat. If I force you to eat, you can choke, you can die. So I'm not going to force you to eat. I can put food to your mouth. But if you're not going to chew it, and you're looking at me, and you don't want to eat, I'm not going to force it in your mouth. I'm going to let you eat. But if you're not going to eat it, I'm not going to force it.
Okay. I don't want you to get too carried away with that story because it doesn't make any sense. I want to give you one last opportunity.
Okay.
And I know my sergeant does as well. You're going to walk you back over to the jail and you're going to get charged. Okay?
With what?
Well, a child is dead. What do you think you're going to get charged with?
How?
This is some serious shit.
Yes, it is.
What do you think you're going to be charged with? I want to hear you say it. I mean, maybe you'll understand how serious it is when you hear yourself say the charge that is about to be brought against you.
Not death. Because I didn't.
No, not that. That's not what it's called in the law books. What is it called?
No.
You do know. I understand why you're unwilling to say it. It's hard. Okay. Do you want me to tell you, or do you want to come to terms with this on your own?
I'm listening.
Okay. Tell me what you're going to be charged with.
I would say child endangerment. No, it's
A child is dead. Okay, and a child is dead because of harm done to it by a person. What is that called when you cause the death of someone else?
Killing.
Yes, murder.
Murder.
Okay.
Yes. No,
So,
I'm not charged with murder because I didn't know.
You're going to be charged with murder
How?
because you are not giving us an explanation that fits anything other than murder. Okay. You want to explain? You want to explain what really happened, and maybe we can help you out. Okay. When's the first time that you saw something that you knew you wanted to keep secret that Sierra did? Something that you knew would get her in trouble. How long have you been keeping these secrets for Sierra?
No secrets. It's not. Tell you right now, ma'am. Have not been keeping no secrets at all. No type of secrets at all. None. Why go through all this?
When's the first time you knew that Children and Family Services was called and there were reports that Aniya was abused?
And that's a bold-faced lie.
When was the first time you knew about that?
I say about a couple months ago, I might have heard about something like that. Somebody's gonna try to call Child Family Services on her. She told me about that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. But that's because it's a whole restraining order against her Aniya's father because he was abusive.
Okay. There's a restraining order?
Not on us, on him.
On him. Who does the order protect?
Sierra and Aniya.
Did you ever see that order?
Yes.
How do you know it existed?
We went down there and put it on him because he was stalking.
When?
Just within the last few months.
Why didn't you tell us before when we were asking about the relationship with Sierra and her ex-husband and Aniya? Don't you think you would have brought that up a long time ago that there was restraining order?
He was abusive, not he.
Why didn't you tell us that before?
He was abusive.
Now you're telling us that. You're not just making an excuse, man. You're not just trying to say that now that now that you understand the seriousness of this. Okay. You seem like a good guy, man. You seem like a good guy. And 6 months, you're gonna protect her for 6 months. You guys aren't just gonna walk out of here and get married and move on with life. This is a big change. There's a path gonna change here for you. Okay. And whether she's in your life or not, how old are you? 26.
Yeah.
You got a long life to live, man. Like I said before, you're not a bad-looking guy. You got scars. You're gonna move on, but you need to tell us what you know about this. This poor girl, this poor 4-year-old girl. She would tell us if she was here. Do you think she would want you to tell us?
Yes.
What happened to her?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
No one murdered this child. No one. Not I, not Sierra. No one murdered this child. If you got to do forensics and tests to make sure and all that, please go on ahead, because no one...
Listen, we don't think you did, okay? I've got reports here from 2015 where we have evidence that Sierra was abusing Aniya back then. So we know it was happening before you were in the picture.
Sierra did not abuse her. The daycare called on her.
You're making excuses for her.
I'm not. That was from Harbor Crest.
You're making excuses.
Can I say something? Sir? That's from Harbor Crest Daycare.
You weren't there. I have page after page of reports. So I understand. You come in the picture, she tells you a story. She wants you to believe her. She wants you to think that she is a good mom. You can't explain all these away. There are so many, and nobody's blaming you for these. This is before you're even involved. These all happened before June of 2017.
Day had been harming Aniya long before Lewis entered her life. It increased once their relationship began. But it is possible that Day resented Aniya as a reminder of her previous husband or as a hindrance to her relationship with Lewis.
Okay? So, we understand.
And I also tell you guys that guys went down. Another daycare called on Sierra because Aniya was getting bruises at the daycare that she was going to before. When I told you about her going from Sierra daycare to another daycare back to Sierra, she went back to Sierra's old daycare because Aniya was coming home with bruises. For no reason at all. Sierra wasn't working there, she didn't go there.
Okay, when was this happening?
This was like when she was going to Harbor Crest daycare.
Okay, were you in the picture then?
No.
You told me you weren't in the picture. So this is just the story that Sierra told you.
And this is stuff that, right, I can call right now, sir. If I had your address and your name, sir, I'm sorry, you only usually you told me you have kids. If I got your name and your address, I can call 696 kids.
Sure.
And it will come out to them.
These aren't people calling 696 kids on anyone and trying to get Sierra in trouble. These are people who care for the child, have the child in their custody, see the bruises, document the injuries, okay? They're They're not caused while the child is at daycare. They're caused while the child is with Sierra. Okay?
And yeah, she was not. She was no. She.
Well, I know you might believe that because you got to start seeing though what I'm telling you.
I am, and I'm
We're
not
not going to get anywhere. I think we're.
Are we done?
No.
Okay. So that's it. We're going to take you back over to the jail. You're going to be charged with murder.
Huh?
That you are absolutely going to be charged with the murder of this child.
How?
Because there's no way that a child looks like this and you don't rush her to 911 and try to get her aid sometime in the last several months. This child died slowly for months.
She did not die slowly for no months because she was active. She was running around. She was moving. She was moving. It was not as I know several months of being.
She might have been moving. She's not well.
We call.
You're going to get charged with murder. If your story is that you don't know how this happened, that's your story. It's not the truth. We all here know it's the truth. In a way, I commend you for trying to protect Sierra like this. We know she was abusing this child before you knew her for years.
She was not abusing her.
Yes, she was.
So how can you automatically say that based upon the paperwork? Because somebody else
Because
wrote
I have investigations that prove it. Okay? I understand you love her and you want to believe what she was telling you, but you have to separate yourself from what
I'm sorry,
Sierra...
okay. Now, can I say something? No, her
that's
sister,
none
her
of your
sister.
business. That's somebody who's on the pickup list for the daycare. That's a copy of their driver's license, which the daycare got when they were picked up. That person has nothing to do with this investigation. Okay?
Okay.
Just so you understand, I'm being upfront with you, but I do have a duty to protect people's personal
Yes,
information.
you do.
It's just a copy of someone on the emergency pickup list at the time of one of the incidents. Okay? So
Yes. And you guys paperwork because you guys, she's not just kids got involved in this. I'm just.
Yeah.
So before we finish, so we're clear. You're telling me that you don't see anything wrong.
Yes, I do.
How
I see the
skinny
body.
she is.
I do. I see.
I don't think there's a coincidence that she has a black eye, a bump on her head, a burn on her leg.
Yes.
That all just sort of happened before Thursday.
No.
Everything happened before Thursday.
And
Right after
listen.
Thursday.
And listen, can I say this? Can I say this? Please?
Yes,
Well, you gotta listen to me. No one put this on her. I can vouch for that and tell you that right now myself. Nobody put a bruise on her. Nobody put a bruise on her eye. Nobody put a bruise on her leg.
Lewis refuses to budge in his belief that Day is innocent in spite of all the evidence against her. It can be something that most people cannot come to terms with about someone they love. And Aniya paid the price for him turning a blind eye.
No one physically whooped her and put a bruise on her leg and physically hit her in the eye. Nobody did that to this girl. No one did it to this poor child. I shouldn't be convicted of murder, and she shouldn't be convicted of nothing either because no one physically hurt her. Her not wanting to eat and her getting skinny. I'm telling you right now, neither one of us did that to her. No one walked past her and not feel
Okay,
her.
well, you didn't take her for the help she needed to prevent her from dying. Okay? You should have stepped in a long time
I
ago.
really don't think she passed away at 2 o'clock today.
Okay?
I really don't think she did.
You guys
I
knew
don't
she
think
was dead when
passed
you
away.
called 911 today. Yes, you did.
No.
Yeah, you did.
Clean up the apartment.
No.
You gave the baby a bath after she was dead.
No.
You got her dressed after you called us.
Why was the door locked? You called the fire department and you had the damn door locked. Explain that one.
We was on the phone when they said it was coming. We didn't know they came as soon as they did until they knocked on the door.
So you got a baby that you're doing CPR to and you're just going to leave the door locked?
No, we was on the phone while we was trying to make sure she was fine. That's all we was doing. We was on the phone while we was trying to make sure she was fine. She said, okay, they be on their way, they're coming. And then as soon as they said they're outside, I was going to put my shoes on. That's when somebody had to knock at the door. The dispatch lady said they're outside.
Okay, if a child is clinging to life and you're attempting rescue measures, you don't worry about shoes.
We were just trying to put clothes on her and take her to the hospital. We was like, maybe let's go to the hospital.
Well,
Make sure she's
you had called 911 and you knew that the paramedics were responding. So why would you worry about getting the child dressed?
Just because we don't want to be naked going outside in the cold. We just put clothes on her. Let's get her, take her to the hospital and make sure she's fine.
CPR and she's dying. You're worried about dressing her?
No.
That's not reasonable.
She was responsive. She was like, she could breathe. She wasn't dead. I'm telling you guys, she wasn't dead. I'm telling you, she was not dead. We doing a little CPR, even though what the lady said, we kept hearing the breath. She kept making noise. We kept hearing her make noise.
Okay, well, you are trying to convince me, maybe you've convinced yourself that the child was breathing, but medical professionals have confirmed that she was dead long before you called us. Are you still trying to sit here and convince me that doctors are wrong and you're right?
No.
Okay, so when did you first notice that she was dead?
I did not know that she was dead. That's why we called because of the breath. Can I say something?
Did you ask Sierra, is she dead?
Yeah, we both looked at her. We both didn't think she was dead.
What time today did you at first look at this child and wonder if she was dead?
This was like 1 o'clock. We got up. Everybody slept in. Like 1 o'clock, I went in there, went to the room. Sierra went in there, checked on her.
Yeah.
She moved. Everything was fine.
Okay.
I went in the room. I said, good morning. She wasn't looking at me. I'm like, Aniya. I'm like, baby, something's going on. I told Sierra to come in the room just like around 12. I told Sierra to come in the room. I see what's going on. I'm looking at Aniya. She's perfectly fine. Everything was fine. I was looking at her like, well, she not, but everything was fine. I'm not gonna lie, I'm scared. Because I'm like, everything, she was looking okay to me. Her eyes, her breathing, I'm like, okay. But she didn't want nothing, she didn't want to move, she didn't want to do nothing. So I'm like, what's going on? I told Sierra to come in the room. And that's when we said, let's rub out, let's take her to the hospital. Let's call ER, That's what happened. Not that, nobody knew about her being dead for a long time ago before today or anything like that. None of that. Nobody, not me, not her. I'm not picking up for her.
Lewis did not want to believe that Aniya was dead. The body can make noises and some small movements when it is shutting down, which he may have used to convince himself that she was still alive.
I'm not taking up for mine. I'm telling you guys the truth. Nobody knew. Neither one of us knew. Why would we call and go through this if this happened? If anybody was the cause of that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I think you've have this story that you're trying to convince yourself is true. I don't believe it's true. I know you're trying to convince me it's true. Absolutely. I know that it's not true.
Yes.
Okay, I have experience in child death investigation.
So what do you think happened? Because I want to get somewhere. And
well, what do I think happened? I think based on the comments that I've given you and feedback to yours that you know what I believe. What do you think that I believe?
Feed her? You think we did not feed her or something?
Right. And for how long of a period of time do you think I believe that she was not fed?
You would think about it might have been a couple weeks.
And why do I feel that way? When I look at this picture, what am I seeing?
Like you showing me before about her bones and stuff like that. Did we think that was weird? Yes, but I'm like, man, she's losing weight. Let's keep feeding her.
Okay. You didn't feed her. Nobody was feeding this child. The pizza roll story, I don't know when it happened, and if it did, it was an anomaly. This child has not eaten 40 pizza rolls in months altogether, all combined.
In months.
If you're eating Chipotle yesterday,
yes.
This child wasn't eating Chipotle.
No, she ate no Chipotle. No, she did not.
Okay.
No, she did not. She ate breakfast. We had breakfast sausages at the house.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
muffins and stuff like that. No.
You said this when you woke up. You slept in late.
Yes, we all slept in late. Yes.
It seems like you saw.
We seen her.
You think?
I'm listening, and.
Did you ask Sierra, is she dead? Like what?
Yes, we looked at her like, baby, something not going on. Yes, we did. We looked at her like, baby, something not right. Yeah. Something not going on with her.
What was she like last night when you guys put her to bed?
She was fine.
What do you mean fine?
She was fine. Later, she didn't want to talk. She had attitude. She looked at us like she was looking at us, but she didn't want to talk to us.
Where does she sleep?
In her bed.
She has her own bed?
Yes. In her bed, in the room. Yes.
What time did you put her to bed last night?
We let her down. We let her down early. We kept going back and forth, but we let her down early, like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. We let her down early, like she's been laying down. We'll feed her and lay her right down in the bed. We'll lay her down.
Okay. So you put her to bed last night at 8 or 9, and you're saying what time was she still in bed this morning? Or this afternoon? You said it was afternoon.
Yes. She
What
was
time?
in the room like around 1. She was laying down. We didn't start moving around our house like around 1.
Okay, so if you put her down last night at 8.
Like I'm talking about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, right?
That's a long time.
It was like around 8, 9, somewhere around that time, yes.
So if you put her down at 8, it means 9, 10, 11, midnight, and then...
Yeah, everybody's sleeping through the morning.
So you've got 4 hours, then 12 more hours until noon, and then you're saying up to 1. You've got like 17 hours the child sleeping and not moving?
Hanging down in the bed, yes, ma'am.
Is it normal for her to sleep 17 hours at a time?
No, not even sleep. No, she know how to. If she wants to get up, she know how to get up. If she chooses not to get up, let's go ahead and check on her. She didn't want to get up, but she knows how to get up.
Okay, all right.
Can I say this? She knows how to get up.
Mm-hmm.
She knows how to walk.
Sure. Why didn't she get up then after 17 hours?
I do not know. Okay. And I went in there went in this afternoon to get everybody to get up, to start moving around the house and all that. Looked at her, told Sierra to come in here.
You knew something was wrong.
I looked at her. Yes, I looked at her. And Sierra looked at her. We looked at her like.
Right, and you knew she was dead. Is that the first time you realized she was dead?
No, did not know she was dead at all. No, we did not.
Okay. Are we
Take
done?
him over. I think we're done. We're gonna take him over. If you want to talk to us, and if you have an aha moment where you make peace with God, you want to tell us what happened, you want to see the next future of your life, you get a hold of us. Okay?
I try to give you the chance. This is my boss, so I gotta do what he tells me to do. Okay? If you want to talk to me, you let them know in the jail they get a hold of me. Okay? I'm gonna.
Can I have the rest of the water?
No, they'll give you some more water.
Yeah, let you know water.
Okay.
Deonte Lewis was found guilty of aggravated murder, felonious assault, permitting child abuse, 3 counts of endangering children, and tampering with evidence. Lewis was sentenced to life in prison with the eligibility for parole after 20 years. And that's where we end this video. If you liked today's video, then drop a line. And if you want to support the channel even further, you can check out my Patreon link in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.